Howdy, howdy.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
How are you guys?
Always makes me tear up.
I know, it still makes me tear up. Michael did an excellent job on that intro. Thank you.
I did. For sure.
Best.
We got a special guest today. Marywen's with us.
Yay.
There we go.
Hi, everybody.
Howdy,
Thanks
howdy.
for having me along.
Thanks for being here. How was your guys this week? Did you do anything fun?
I went to Costco yesterday, first time in a long time, and I was disappointed. I'm never going to go on a Sunday ever again because it was just like so many people. But I'll definitely try again through the week, and hopefully there's more variety there. And in meat, the meat department was empty. Yeah, restriction on eggs at the moment. So, but it's good. It was fun. I managed to walk around, and it wasn't too bad. It was good. That was my highlight for the week, anyway.
That's awesome. Well, now at least you know. How far of a drive was it for you? Was it as bad as you thought?
It's about 40 minutes, so it's not too bad. Like I have a car now, I can travel, so I don't mind. Yeah, the drive, and I actually didn't drive. My son-in-law did, so he went with my daughter as well. So it was good.
Does he drive like Todd?
Here we go. It's on.
We went in my car, and he was really nervous because it's a new car, and he's like, "Oh, it's so." He was playing with all the tools, like toys on it, and it's got all the whiz-bang features. So he was super careful, and knowing that I was in the car as well. No, he didn't play up or anything. He was a good driver.
Oh, and I'm not.
You're like Speed Racer.
You're a NASCAR rally driver. You are.
Look, speed demon. Whee!
Look, did you see how they would make you make lane changes in Texas?
It was pretty brutal, but Ella, Bella, and myself were sitting in the back seat, and we were all hanging onto the back, white knuckle. You should have seen Bella's face. She was like, "Oh," I'm like, "Yeah, this is Todd's driving."
Their life is passing before their eyes. And
Listen.
I've actually driven in the States, and it was in Seattle, granted, but it was positively frightening. You've just got to keep up with the flow of the traffic, and people around you get really irate if you don't. Oh,
well, there's a reason I sat in the back seat, was so I couldn't see the oncoming traffic. I didn't want to see what was coming for me.
Whatever. I drove 1,200 miles on that rental car when I was down there. Not a single incident.
You did very well. You did very well.
Oh, man.
My knuckles are still hurting, though.
You guys were worried about nothing. It's not.
Wait till you come to Australia, and we'll show you the drivers here. We'll see how you feel them sitting in the wrong side of the road.
That might be different. I'll have to see if I can get a license, show them how to drive there.
I'm staying in.
Crazy Yank is on the road, folks. Stay home.
We'll take you into the city and show you those hook turns. They're awful.
Are they?
They are.
Yeah, they're nasty.
Oh, that was happening. That was happening all over Austin. I mean, every time I was following the GPS, I would get off an off ramp and it would say, "All right, in 100 yards, you're taking a left." Well, I got to cross 4 lanes of traffic, and then you got to make it across 4 lanes of traffic in 100 yards, doing 70 mile an hour, or 80 miles an hour. It's like, all right, here goes nothing. We just got to leapfrog it all the way over there, and then every time you turned around, it was taking you down past your turn. You'd have to do this, like they have these U-turn ramps. Do U-turn, come back up on. I mean, over and over and over again. That place was crazy. Remind me of that old Jeff Foxworthy joke where he asks how to, get to wherever from here. And they go, to Sycamore Street, you can't get there from here. That's what Texas felt like. It felt like every place I was trying to go, you couldn't get there from there. Because if you would look at the GPS, it would take you way past it. You'd do U-turn and have to come back around. It happened. It's crazy. I'm like, man, alive. But you just have to drive a little bit of aggressively because, their lane changes are not optional. You got to make sure they know you mean business. You got to get her done. So
it was fun.
yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Everybody hates Austin traffic.
Thank you, Beth.
Oh, it's a
Thank
thing
you.
then. Righto.
Yeah. Because Bella, she goes, do you drive like this at home? I'm like, no, I don't have to drive like this at home because they don't make you because everybody on the road's not effing nuts. I don't have to drive like this at home. So no, it's it's a different place. It's just like, all right, fine. But every time I turned around, I kept, I did a lot of driving down there and picking people up and dropping people off at the airport and going and get stuff.
Yeah.
Man, every time I turn on the GPS, I'm like, oh, another 6 lanes we got to cross vertically.
Did they all kiss the ground when they got out of the car?
Pretty much every time.
My legs were like jelly. It's like being on a vibration.
But
plane.
as much driving as I did, nobody else was asking to drive.
Oh, you wouldn't let me anyway.
I wouldn't have let you. Not a chance.
Really?
True story. Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh, hi from the UK.
Hi, Daniel, darling. How are you?
Morning from your future. What are the lottery numbers, Sandra? I keep asking. I'll split it with you. Yep. Send me the Powerball numbers.
If only.
Yeah, I'll go
if
get
only we knew. Yeah, that would be awesome. I think we'd all come over to the US where it's warm.
From Mustang, Oklahoma. I used to live in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma for a little while. I'm not sure where Mustang is. Congratulations on 16
Yeah,
months.
Congratulations, darling.
Fantastic.
Yes, thank you, Beth. The next one. Oh, we double clicked.
Again.
I'm not touching anything.
Austin Airport is the worst. It is the worst. And I had to go there like 7 times. It was terrible.
Try going to O'Hare.
I went to O'Hare one time. I was at when I went to fly to Maryland one time, I got stuck at O'Hare and I was like, okay, so this is actually a city in an airport. Like it was as big as our town, the airport was. It was stupid. I had to walk, it felt like 2 miles in the airport to get to my other gate. It was terrible.
Sheesh.
Let's see here. But the topic today is exercise. Me and Lindy were talking about it because we both happen to be partaking of the exercise, and I've been adding it in because I'm feeling good. And I don't know, I've been thinking about talking about it, but I just know 20 months ago, if I would have saw a YouTube video about how to lose weight on carnivore and exercise, and some dude would have been lifting weights, I would have clicked right by that one.
Yeah.
Not alone there, love.
Yeah, it would not have been my back when I was trying to breathe and figure out how I was going to stand up. I was not looking at anything. Yeah. That had exercise, What do you guys think?
At 6, 7, 800 pounds, it's too hard. You're in a lot of pain. You have a lot of edema, fluid. I think the first thing to do is nail your diet. Start eating carnivore, which is what I needed to do personally. Other people may get away with keto, but for me, I needed to take out all sugars, all carbs, anything sweet, trigger those cravings. So for myself personally, it had to be strict carnivore. And the only exercise I could do was like sit on my chair and hop on there, put my feet on the vibration plate, and that would help sort of get some fluid out. But I couldn't walk up and down the hallway. So walking out to the letterbox wasn't a thing for me because I couldn't get down the front step. It was too difficult. My knees would creak and it was just painful. So exercise for me just was not, I didn't even consider it for the first few months and quite a few months, and then maybe walking up and down the hallway, but still it was hard work, and balance, mobility was always an issue. So I'm 2.5 years in.
Our size, our size. I mean, the exercise thing, the little bits that may work for somebody who's got a considerable less amount to lose. But when you're in the realms of where the likes of us are, that exercise is just not an option because everything hurts. I kid you not, everything hurts. And you just don't want to subject your body to more pain. You can't do it. I know I couldn't. Extra pain for me is like, ooh, no.
Right.
So,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I have a lot to say about all of it. I mean, part of it is like Jordan Peterson says, he goes, if you want to change anything, you have to be humble enough to break things down into a small enough change that you can actually do,
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Love that man. Love him.
Right.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple, but I love what he said, because he did, he pegged a lot of what I used to always think, because when you have something so big and you're in such bad shape, where you have to start's pretty degrading, right? Because it's you really have to get on your knees and you got to start at the bottom. So you have to humble yourself to do the really small degrading things to make the change to start somewhere, but you have to break it down to small enough things. So I was thinking about that, and then also I got a comment on my Instagram this week that was just a funny. I wasn't even in the conversation. Two people were fighting on my video, and it was just one of the funniest conversations. I wish I would have screenshotted it, but this guy said that I took a shortcut, and this other guy was arguing for me, and he was like, "What? How did you take a shortcut?" But when he came back, he finally decided the reason that I had taken a shortcut was because I didn't go to the gym and suffer to lose weight. So by that means I took a shortcut, and I'm like, right. So because I found Carnivore, and Carnivore was sustainable, which meant that I've actually done it for 20 months now, which created results. That's a shortcut. And his argument was, because I took a shortcut and because it wasn't hard, I'm not going to be able to keep this up and I'm going to lose my results. And I'm like, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard, because it's easy. I am going to keep it up, and it is my lifestyle now because it's actually
has to be maintainable. Has to be maintainable, Todd.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you go into any kind of, for me, for instance, I know, let's say I could go to the gym and who'd pay to see it? Me on the rowing machine or on the elliptical, and I went 3 times a week. You got to think about whatever it is you're doing now. You're going to have to think about, if you start big now, you're going to have to increase from, so like if I went 3 times a week to start off with, if I could, then chances are later on down the track, I'm going to have to increase that. And whatever it is, the exercise regime is at the end of it, you're going to have to maintain that. It's like if you're lifting weights. Make it if you're going to do something like that, you've got to think about, okay, this is something that I want to incorporate into my life. Do you want to spend 7 days a week, 2 hours at the gym for the rest of your life? I know I don't. I'd rather maintain what I'm doing and keep it on an even keel that's manageable so I can have a life.
Yeah, I think that's something we got to talk about, right? Because 20 months ago, I would have said absolutely not, because the idea of spending 10 minutes at the gym, the idea of getting in a car and going to a gym would have been out of the question.
Out. Right.
Yeah, like that wouldn't even work,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, these were days. So, and that's what this is kind of about today, is that I am working out a lot right now, and I'm enjoying every minute of it, which is really new to the working out world.
Yeah.
I've worked out a lot before in the past, and I never enjoyed it. I never enjoyed it once. None of it was fun. One of the biggest reasons was because I could never breathe before, and I can breathe now.
Yes.
Right.
That's a huge difference. And now, but the biggest thing is that I'm healed. And now that I'm healed, it feels good to move. And so
Yeah.
I'm kind of seeing a glimpse into this window of all the people that have yelled at me and said, if you would just eat less and work out more, you would do it. And it's like, they weren't in the same spot. They weren't sick, right? They weren't broken down. So from their side, they can't see this side of the fence. But I can kind of, I'm starting to be able to see why they think that way, because they've never felt like this, or, you know, they've never been in a spot where they're sick, you know? And so I can kind of see that. But also, it's really good news, but I don't want to get it construed, because I'm probably going to start showing some of what I'm doing in the next few months. But I've been kind of hesitant because kind of our crowd of people that are stuck in a spot, I don't want them to see that I lost 300 pounds and see me on a weight bench. Yeah, and think that that's what I'm preaching, because they're just going to click off. And that's not at all what happened. But it is a testament to how fast it can turn around, because in 20 months I went from not being able to breathe, not, you know, it was on oxygen, not being able to stand up. I was tachycardia or whatever, you know, well, I forget what they call that, but when your heart's 107 beats a minute, I mean, nothing was working. And now I'm enjoying working out, which is pretty crazy. It actually feels good. So I think our body's natural state is to move. So to your point, I totally get where you're coming from, Mary Wynn, because I wouldn't ever wanted to spend 2 hours in the gym before either. But
heck no.
Now I am, and I'm enjoying it. That's the funny thing.
It comes with time. As you're getting better, as you're losing the weight, your body wants to move more.
But
if you're dealing with a bunch of pain, and it's a nightmare just getting up out of bed, getting to your chair in the morning.
Oh, heck yeah.
So how do you want to work out when you're feeling like that? You don't want to.
No, really, you don't.
No,
you don't. But what's fun is when you heal, it feels good to feel strong. It feels good to be able to move with ease, and it feels good to be able to lift big things that used to feel impossible, and now they're attainable. And it feels good to feel a good kind of, I mean, it really, now when I'm working out and I'm making things sore and stretching muscles, it feels like I'm stretching more than I'm, you know, depleting. Like there's just a total difference of, it's kind of like fasting nourished. There's a total difference of working out nourished and healed. It's totally different game, you know.
And it's a different pain as well. When you get sore muscles from working out, you just sort of think it's a good pain. It's doing you good. You're feeling strong. You know, it's all for a good thing. But when you're in pain because you're physically feeling unwell, and it's a different kind of pain. That's an awful pain to live with. But the working out pain, now that I'm past that illness, it's feeling fantastic. But then, you know, as you're losing the weight, you've got another set of challenges, which is the loose skin, and that becomes an issue. I'm currently doing a walking workout challenge with Midlife Carnivore, Lynn, and there's a part in it where you do like a sprinting on the spot, and I have so much loose skin that I literally clap. My body is clapping. My legs are clapping. My arms are clapping. My stomach. And I get like I'm thinking the rest of the house can hear me clapping.
Darling.
And it's just like, you know, see, you know, you've gone from one problem and now I've got this other problem of this feeling uncomfortable with my body because it's making weird noises when I'm trying to exercise. So it's like people tell you need to lose weight, you got to do that, and it'll solve all your problems. No, it just creates a bunch of new problems for you. So yeah, that's my hang up at the moment, is the clapping.
Better problems though, better problems, because
it is. I'd never want to go back to 800 pounds, but
oh heck no,
my problems are not over yet. I've still got a lot of hurdles to tackle.
No, I love the clapping story, because one of the times, you know, I've lost 300 pounds a couple times before in my life, and one of the times I lost it was when we were playing softball, and I was down 300 pounds. It was my lowest weight I've ever been as an adult. I was 337 pounds, and we were playing softball a couple times a week, and on the weekends we'd practice and we'd go to tournaments and stuff, and it just got to be hilarious. I looked like a melted candle, you know? And so when I'd round the bases and I'd really dig in and really go for it, I sounded like I was cheering for myself. my whole dugout would be laughing so hard because they're like, you're the only guy that could clap for himself with no hands. It was awesome. I was laughing so hard. It was just thunderous, and I would come in with a roaring applause of myself. Around base.
Got me again, you bugger.
Oh, it's so funny. I'd laugh so hard. I'm so looking forward to getting rid of that next year. I'm really praying that I got enough of this weight gone to get the rest of that cut off. But yeah, I feel you there. The clapping part is hilarious.
Yeah.
We should. All right. So here's the question: of you guys that are on Carnivore, how long have you been on Carnivore, and do you exercise? And for those of you that have lost or have been on Carnivore for a while, have you noticed that the healing of Carnivore is making you want to exercise? And we'll get to some questions we have starred.
Todd, would you love to know how much Lugol's iodine you take per day, and do you take 2 days off per week of taking the iodine to detox bromide and fluoride? Thank you so much. Thanks, Maria.
I take 50 milligrams a day, which is 20 drops of the Lugol's 5% J. Crow's. And I do not take any days off. I wouldn't take any days off because I feel fantastic. I know that you're supposed to do the detox thing, but as of yet, I mean, it's just, iodine's kind of my lifeline right now. I feel so good when I take iodine. It's the first thing I want in the morning. Like I used to crave coffee. I crave iodine because it just turns everything on, turns my brain on. And it just, I don't know, it makes me, for a long time, I used to chase, really gambling rushes and things because it was the only time I'd feel alive, and I swear that when I take iodine, it turns whatever that is, I think it actually has something to do with your adrenals, but it turns something on and you're like, oh, okay, this is what it's like to be alive again,
Wow.
And so, yeah, I don't take any days off on the iodine. At this point, I'd be pretty sad. Out of all the things, I think I would go without food and electricity before I went without iodine right now. Because
wow, okay,
that's important.
That's a bold statement.
It is, but it's true. So yeah. I don't skip a day for sure. We'll see what happens. I'm willing to risk it. So there we go.
Matt Fiasano. Todd, do you hunt? I was looking into buying elk game meat. Your thoughts on Montana elk tag lottery system?
Whoa, boy! If you're out of state, or you're saying, that's going to be rough for you, and it's going to be really expensive. I don't know. Contact me if you want one. And I'll buy a tag because I don't use my tags. And you can have my tag because I can get one for like $70. I think yours are like $1,200 if you're out of state. So, and you got to get a lottery. But the thing is that I can get you an elk tag, but getting you an elk is a whole nother thing. So right now, hunting's very popular here, and it's really hard to get an elk. You got to know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy to get on a private ranch, really. Otherwise, it's just, I mean, you can probably get one, but it's super tough. You're going to have to spend some time trying. So. Nice. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough to get one. So, but elk meat is delicious for sure. And
I've never tried it.
No, me either.
Yeah, elk meat's wonderful. I don't like deer. Deer's gross. So is antelope.
I've had venison.
Yeah, not my favorite. Yeah,
it was okay. The wild boar was fine. It was slightly schizophrenic coming back up. Let's put it that way.
You got a gamey one. No, but the elk is right up there with beef. It's not gamey. Okay. Yeah, but no, it's delicious, and I would highly recommend it. But yeah, I don't really hunt. I've killed a few deer. I've been with people when they killed elks and helped them butcher those and stuff. But it's yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of work.
Yes, it is.
Elk are far back in the mountains, and the beef is just at Costco. So I just go get that.
Priorities, people, priorities.
For sure.
Will Billy, hello. I'm from Kansas. Arkansas. Okay. But sitting in Indiana right now, headed to Dallas tomorrow. Yes, Texas drivers are horrible. I think San Antonio is worse than Austin. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's crazy. You guys have the most ridiculous traffic I've ever seen. I don't know, I didn't understand road rage until I was in Texas, and I was like, oh, this is why people shoot people out here, because some of them got it coming, to be honest with you.
Oh, although I will say this, though, the London drivers, and I'm talking like the cab drivers.
Yeah.
Good luck with that, folks. Oh, yeah.
Hi, Michael. Short, intense exercise is best according to Dr. O'Mara. Seems to work for me. I know Dr. O'Mara is into sprinting, but for me, I struggle to sprint. I can't even sprint on the spot with this.
Hard enough time walking.
Workout. Yeah. The loose
skin. But it works for you, so...
Yeah, it's just different part of maybe in the future. That's something I could consider, but right now, I can't do it.
Yeah, after our live stream the other day on inflammation with Dr. Phil, he was talking about how he's basically doing Dr. O'Mara's sprinting protocol, but on an exercise bike because he doesn't want to fall running. Mm-hmm. So that inspired me, actually, because I was like, oh, that's a great idea. So I bought an exercise bike, and that's what I've been doing sprints on, because I remembered that when we were playing softball and we were practicing softball and we were shagging balls, I would sprint in the outfield. And because I started watching O'Mara's stuff a few months back, and he was talking about how there's this, and I'm going to screw it up because I didn't pay close enough attention. I didn't practice for the test here, but basically he was talking about a specific hormone that sprinting induces that causes growth hormones in your body. And he said, look, these sprinters that sprint, they don't lift, but they look like they're bodybuilders because it causes this growth hormone that causes your whole body to get very muscular. Well, I remembered that the only time that I ever had like real thick arms and shoulders and I had these real tall, beefy traps were when I was playing softball and sprinting in the outfield. And I was like, that's why I got all muscles, because I was sprinting. And so that, as soon as I heard that, I'm like, okay, I'm going full in on the sprinting. So I have been doing sprinting on the exercise bike, which has been going great so far. My legs are jello right now because I did sprinting and then I did 60 squats on the vibration plate. And now my legs are dead today, but I'm enjoying it because it feels good to be able to work a muscle so hard that it actually gets tired, where before I couldn't. I mean, my heart and lungs didn't work good enough to bring a muscle to fatigue. So it's a good sign, right? So I'm definitely doing that, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that works, because I do believe that was a success one other time in my life that I lost a bunch of weight. So I will keep you guys informed, though.
Yeah, see, for me, I've only just been able to stand on my vibration plate because of the weight limitations. And I've done it twice. Standing still for me right now is out of the question. It just hurts way too much, and it's not a good hurt. So I have to sort of rethink how I do things. So, I'm going to start small and just walk around, because we've got a pool table. I'm going to walk around that every day. I'm going to increase the movement every day until I can get to a place where standing still, because I know that if you're standing on the vibration plate, it is apparently easier to bend your knees a little bit. Yeah, that ain't happening. That ain't happening, because when I walk, my knees are locked. They have to be to carry me. Otherwise, I'm stuffed. I'm a heap on the floor. So as much as I would love to continue standing on the vibration plate, I have to sort of backtrack a little bit and think, okay, well, standing still's out. Maybe just go around the pool table for a week, once every day for a week, and then next week twice, and so on and so forth, until, I can get to a place where I can bend my knees again. And I've just got this carnivore lifestyle has got so much to heal in my body. You know, I can't think about increasing too much now when it's only just started to heal. The body's only just started to heal.
It takes time.
Yep. Oh gosh, yeah.
And it's, as we were talking about before, it's all about keeping this lifestyle sustainable. If you push it too fast and you're not ready to, you're gonna stop, and you're just gonna give up. And then that could cause you to give up with your carnivore or whatever, because you just feel like a failure, and it starts that spiral. So you just have to take it slowly. You know, every now and then jump on, stand up on your vibration plate. If you don't feel you're ready, like, no one else can tell you if you're ready. You will know. And if you're not ready, just go back to just sitting down and just take it slowly. Maybe 1 minute or 2 minutes if you want to, but you know your body best, and it'll come a time where you will just want to start moving more. You'll feel really good, and don't push it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Daniel, I'm officially starting the gym in a couple of weeks. Once work calms down, going to start with just walking on the treadmill, maybe cycling and the rowing machine.
Nice.
Good job.
Yeah, well, that definitely, reminds me of what Jordan Peterson says. I've always had that in the back of my head since I started Carnivore, because it is really stupid. I finally had to, when I was first starting Carnivore, I had to build a little room around me with all my cooking stuff and a little fridge, and everything had to be within reach and super easy. Because if it was not absolutely the least path of resistance, I wasn't going to do it. Right. And I was sitting here going, look, this might be pathetic. Everybody might say, oh my gosh, that's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. But that's what it takes to do it. Then I got to do it to make it sustainable so that I can do it. And, and then I had to start where I could, whatever, consistency really is the key to all of this. You have to make something work that you can do every day and not make the wrong, choice. You got to really stack up the days and to get the results. And so I'm taking that approach to this. And so that's why I'm cleaning out the garage right now and getting all my dad's stuff out of there, because I won't drive to a gym. I won't do it. If I have to go and be fat in front of people, right?
Yeah, it ain't happening. No, I agree. I'm with you.
Yeah, I'm not going to go to a building where I have to people with people and being fat with people. I don't want to be fat with other people, and I don't want to have to do all that stuff. I have the temperament, I can put up with it, but it's just also, I just don't. So I'd rather do, and I don't exactly need a bunch of weights. I am my own weight. I have plenty of weight.
Every time I stand up from here, I'm weightlifting, honey.
Right. So, and it's true. So stand up one extra time, and that's good enough. Stand up when that becomes easy, then stand up 2 extra times. Like, we all have some place we start, but this is what Jordan Peterson's talking about. He's like, can you humble yourself to do the thing that you need to do? Can you bring yourself that low and humble yourself that much to realize that that's actually an improvement and not, degrading? That's where you got to start. And I really think that there is a ton to say about that. And so that's why I'm like, I'm going to make it right outside this door so that I can go right outside this door and I can do what I got to do to feel good. And I got to do little things, so I made a little chart, and it was in typical fashion. It was ambitious, but even when I made the chart of things that I wanted to do, I was like, if I don't get this all done, I'm going to be okay with it. The thing is to go out there and get as much of this done as I can.
Yeah, right.
But just keep doing it. Keep working on it until I can get to this whole list. And it's working pretty good, and I'm quite happy. And I designed it around, first and foremost, moving as much lymphatic fluid as possible And then second was the HIIT exercises for sprinting for the growth hormones. And third was working the biggest muscle groups as I can. And that's all I care about is those three things, because I want those growth hormones and those stem cells. And I want to move the lymph fluid because those will help heal the lymphatic system. So, but that's awesome, Daniel. Congratulations.
Yep.
It's good.
Nicely done, Daniel.
Keep to it, man. You got it.
Hi, Beth. I broke down and ordered a cheap walking pad. No way I'm going to walk in this Texas heat humidity. Should be here tomorrow. Yeah, those walking pads look pretty cool.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few people using them. Let me know how that works because I've seen those too.
I'm going to have to look it up. What is a walking pad?
They're just
it's
those
like
little...
a treadmill, but it doesn't have the handles or anything. It's just a flat pad. I think Dr.
Yes.
Wiedemann uses one in her house. So you can slide it under your bed so it's out of the way.
Right.
I've got my mum's treadmill. It's a huge monster and it takes up so much room and it's clunky. And I don't like to use it, but yeah, it just sits there and I hang clothes on it.
Everything must have a use.
Yeah, I need to use it, but it's too cold to go walking. I should really use it, but vibration plate and my rebounder is what I use at the moment.
I mean, I used to go to all those bad diets that I used to go on. I did the jazzercise thing. Although I will say the jazzercise, I loved it. Oh my gosh. I still love jazzercise. But I used to go to the gym and stuff like that. And I honestly don't know. Exercise for me has become I'd rather do that at home privately kind of deal.
Yeah.
Like Todd, I'd rather have all the equipment in the garage and do it here privately. It's just, I don't know. I don't think I could do that sort of outgoing thing and go gym membership. No.
And maybe it's because we've been so large and worried about people, looking at us and judging us. And I don't think that's ever going to leave us, that feeling of people judging us.
I actually have a few ways I deal with things like that. Just, but for the most part, depending on my mood, if I'm feeling a bit sassy, and those looks you get the, and they follow you. So depending on my mood will depend on whether I say nothing or if I pipe up. And if I do pipe up, it's usually along the lines of, take a picture, it lasts longer.
You're doing it wrong. I go up to them and I dap them up because I think it's funny.
I love the ones that stare so much, they don't look where they're going and they end up falling base over apex. Right. That's gold. I'm like,
that's funny.
Sucks to be you.
Yeah.
People are cruel. They don't get it, never will.
You have to change your mindset and do some kind of movement, not always at a gym, but activity you can grow on from. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you're large, you just have to start small. We can't do the big things and go to gyms, and there's no need to. Carnivore does so much to heal. And it gets to the point where your mind just says, I think it's time to start moving. And then you start walking a little bit further up the hallway. Like when I come down to this end of the house, I would stay. If I had to go up there, I could not. I just like, it can wait till tonight, because the only reason I'll go back up there is to go to bed at night. I could not walk up and down the hall. Now, I don't even hesitate. If I need to go put washing on or whatever, I can walk up and down the hall 50 times in one day. It doesn't faze me. But before, it was just too difficult. It was too painful. I was worried about my balance. You'd have to be ready.
For sure.
I mean, I did, I'm going with it, like, in terms of the extra movement, like, I wanted to do some cleaning. Like, I have to do everything sitting down on an office chair that's got wheels on it. Simple fact. That's just life. But the fact that I've been doing some mopping, I've been doing some vacuuming. That is actually
exercise
movement, folks.
Yes.
Because if you haven't done it for years and years and years because of the condition that you're in,
right?
Guess what? That is increased movement,
It's exercise
and it
for
counts.
Oh, for sure.
It counts. Don't let anyone tell you it doesn't count, because it does. Send them to me if they disagree.
Well, I had a chair in the kitchen. I had a chair in the laundry, and I would walk from chair to chair. So my exercise was walking from one chair to the next chair, and I'd have to sit down to do the dishes. I couldn't stand. It would be too much pressure on my back, and my stomach was in the way, like bending. It was just, and then I couldn't hold myself up. I wasn't strong enough to carry my weight, to stand in one position for too long. Now I haven't used a chair in the kitchen for months now. And it feels so good.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's just really good. Family would come over, or friends, and, we'd entertain, and I'd cook for everybody. But I'd be sitting on the chair, they'd be standing on the other end of the bench, standing up, watching me cook while I'm sitting down. And that was embarrassing. I wanted to stand up and be on their level and talk with them. I couldn't do it.
Oh,
yeah.
And then I just didn't want people coming over, because I was just ashamed.
For sure.
Daniel, when I was younger, I was told as long as you keep your BPM above 140 for prolonged periods, you will lose weight. So I wonder if you can make your BPM above 140 while sitting. Are the results the same?
I don't know. I mean, I've seen a lot of these chair yogas and chair exercise thingies. Surely that would do something.
Oh, for sure.
Because again, if you've not done that before and you start doing it, it's movement. It's exercise.
I do think working your arms and your legs sitting down would be good, because it will help to circulate that lymphatic fluid. And I think when you've got the edema, that's a big thing, that it puts a damper on everything and it sets you back. So getting rid of that fluid would be paramount. So
I kind of built a little system just playing with things that work. And so now the first thing I've been trying to do in the morning is get up, and I do that Wim Hof breathing. And I'm very encouraged by that, because one, this might not sound like a big deal to anybody else, but to hold my breath for a minute and a half, and I've actually been able to hold it for 2 minutes now. I actually did it once for 2.5 minutes, but that was a little bit far, but I'm still working on just doing it consistently at 2 minutes, but a minute and a half now I've conquered, which is crazy, because with the breathing problems I had my whole life, I couldn't hold my breath for 20 seconds before. So it's pretty huge for, because I used to be so out of oxygen, so that's been great. But the biggest reason that I'm doing it, it's good to oxygenate your blood before you work out, but also Wim Hof breathing opens up your diaphragm. And for us bigger people, right there in the waist well, and I think anybody with compromised lymphatic system, but especially if you have a lot of weight on your waist, you got to move the diaphragm to make some room for the lymphatic fluid in your waist. So that feels really good. So I've been doing that. And then I go immediately and I do 10 minutes on the shake plate on my legs. While I'm doing that, I do calf raises and squats on there and try to pump that stuff out. And then when I'm done standing on it for 10 minutes, I get down on my hands and knees and I put my forearms on it for 5 minutes, because that loosens up the thoracic ducts in your armpits.
You might want to start with that first.
Loosen
this up first. When I used to go for therapy, they would always start in the upper body first.
Okay.
Because the fluid's going to work its way up. So I would do your upper body first.
That I've been doing the lower ones so that I can get shook up enough to get on the floor.
No, I know.
Well, a little stiff, but no, that brings up a good point, because then when I'm standing on it, because ultimately you got to get everything to the thoracic duct if you're going to get that lymph fluid out of you. Right. It has to come through the thoracic duct. So, but yeah,
if I may talk about the diaphragm. because that's my wheelhouse, because that is a singer's boiler room.
Right on.
The diaphragm strength is absolutely the most important thing, because it's going to help support the air in your lungs to sustain you through walking distances. It's going to sustain you through exercise regimes, whatever it is you're doing. For a singer, it helps sing those long darned phrases that seem to go on forever. Case in point, do you honestly think Whitney Houston could have sung and do all of that in one breath if she hadn't have been using her diaphragm?
Right.
Madonna could not do all the dancing around that she does on stage. I mean, okay, she has a backing tape now, but in her younger years, there's no way that she could have done all of that dancing around if she didn't have support from the diaphragm, because it keeps the voice steady. Doing exercises for just the diaphragm alone, given that it's there at the highway system of the lymphatic system, yes. And probably the reason why my mother was able to at least move around to the degree that she was, because she was a big girl. The fact that she was a singer and she was breathing and using her diaphragm was probably helping keeping some kind of lymphatic system flow. But if you guys are struggling and you're like, just start doing some diaphragm exercises. Get that boiler room sorted, and it will, it'll serve you well.
Have you ever done any Wim breathing?
I have. And once I realized what it really was, I'm like, oh, well, lately I've actually been doing breathing exercises because I've been singing just a little bit more. And because of how I've been taught to sing, I can't not do Wim Hof.
Right.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
It's just how it is. Yep. So it has a very strong relationship with singing. That kind of breathing.
It works well. Works very well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, and I've noticed that, and so I do the Wim Hof, the shake plate for my legs, and the shake plate for my arms, and then I go do my sprints on the exercise bike, and then I do 500 to 1,000 calf raises on the rebounder, since I figure everything's opened up. And then I come back, because then I usually have lactic acid, and then I do another 10 minutes on the shake plate to try to get the lactic acid out. And by doing that, my legs the fluid in my legs have come down to about half. Like, it's pretty crazy how much fluid has come out of there. Just doing that. And I don't do the bike sprints every day. I do them every other day. And then the every other day that I'm not doing those, I do sprints on the hit axle, because my idea is that, well, I'm going to pump the legs one day and try to move lymph fluid. And then I'm going to pump the arms and upper body around the thoracic ducts the next day. So I've been splitting off, but those are working. And what's crazy is it's pretty crazy, because after now doing Wim Hof breathing in the morning and I get on the shake plate, I usually have to go run and take a pee that quick. And I'm like, oh, wow, I just moved some fluid that fast.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay,
can confirm.
So yeah, it's been a good little regimen. And then that's in the morning, and then at night I lift, and I do the shake plate before and after I lift too, just to try to keep it's a good warm up to get your muscles loose. So it's been working. Let's see, did we do this one yet?
Hi, Josephine. I think that's why I don't want to go to gym. I would like to do more fun activities. Beach, love to rollerblade again. I have started lifting weights at home, making life sustainable. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the gym's not for me, but I'd love to go hiking. Find a little trail somewhere, with a pretty forest or something, and just walk along a trail.
Yeah.
See some ducks, see some birds. That's kind of my kind of exercise, just getting out in nature again.
Exercise can be done anywhere. It doesn't just have to be in the gym.
Yeah.
Walking is one of the best exercises. swimming, for people our size, swimming is one of the best. It's the lowest impact on for our joints and stuff like that. That's what I want to get back into. I love swimming.
I love swimming too. The only thing I'm worried about is, because I know that it is just to feel no strain on my body while I'm in the water. That would be nice. But you see, where my head is at the moment, I'm worried about when I get out and that strain actually comes back.
Right.
When you get out, that would be, I have a real mental block with that, because I remember how much that used to hurt me, and it would hurt even more now.
Right.
So so that's what I mean. Eating meat is easy. It's so easy. It's all this other stuff, folks. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
For sure.
Well, we've got a lovely hot tub now. My husband bought it for our anniversary, and I can now get into it, which is wonderful. And I can lie flat in it. So lie on my back and float. So I do leg exercises and things like that. But it's empty now because it's freezing outside. I won't get in the cold. But looking forward to, probably November, filling it up again so we can use it.
Oh, I'd love a hot tub.
Yeah, it's just so nice. Because I don't like to swim in public or be around people in bathers. I feel uncomfortable. People are going to look and see all the loose skin. I'm embarrassed by my loose skin. I still hide in front of the family. I've always got towels wrapped around me, and I'd get them to turn around while I get in this hot tub. Like, I just don't want people seeing me.
No.
So.
No, I feel the same way. I'm very self-conscious.
And you do see a lot of people parading their blue skin on Instagram and that, and the comment section, they're so nasty. And I'm applauding these people for finally finding their way and losing the weight. Why be nasty? Just move on. If you don't like what you see, just
shut up. Move along. There's nothing to see. Just shut up.
Just shut up and go somewhere else. I mean, you don't have to look. But
I don't know. I get excited when I see a moron in the chat. It makes me happy. Like, this is gonna be fun.
Oh dear.
Your attitude. I wish I could be more like you, but I still take offense, and then I loosen up again later. But when I see something, I always it does hit the heartstrings first.
Yeah, absolutely. It feels so much better, Carnivore Hercules. 100%.
Yeah. But when you get dressed and you put a nice t-shirt on and a dress, you don't even realize it's there. Like, you feel normal. It's just when you sit down and everything spreads, or when you start exercising and you start clapping, that's when you notice it.
Right.
But otherwise, I feel okay. Hi, Mama Cracker. In Robert Colley's book, Secret of the Ages, 1925, he states that with the right nutrition, all you need to do is just stretch, just like any other animal.
Yeah, I've been stretching a lot lately, with my legs specifically. I've been like, I'm getting relief from stretching.
Yeah. Just wakes up your muscles.
Yeah.
Being sedentary. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing I do have. I have really liked this. One thing I like about exercise and lifting weights too is it seems to be fixing my posture and my frame. Things are straightening out as things, as you do, as you lift with proper form. I just noticed that my frame is squaring up, and things are and also I think as things get strengthened, those muscles hold things in the right position.
Right.
Just because, I don't know, just it's weird little things that you notice, but just laying down in bed at night, I've always, my whole life I watched movies where people lay down and their toes point up. My toes have never pointed up. My legs are always
go to the side.
On the side. Yeah. And now all of a sudden I lay down and my toes are up, straight up. Yeah. That's never happened a day before in my life, and now, and I realize, and the more that things align like that, the more that, I'm not bow-legged and
Right.
things are squared up. And I got one of those monkey feet from Animal House Fitness, which Joe Rogan talks about. But basically, looks like a snowboard boot that straps onto your foot that grabs a dumbbell.
Mhm.
So you put weight on your feet. But I specifically got that because I noticed the last thing. I think this happened from the lymphedema being so heavy on my legs that I had to lift up my legs, and so I wasn't using my hip flexors. So the hip flexors got weak because I noticed the last thing that was always feeling weak was when I would go downstairs. So when you're going down the stairs and you start to bend at the hips, I would feel real weak. And so I got the Animal House Fitness monkey feet for the hip flexor exercises. And I've been doing that. And since I've been doing that realigned my hips pretty good with my knees and my feet. They started coming together. I'm like, okay, this is why I've always had bad posture. I'm getting taller because I'm not so bent, bow-legged, and crooked.
Right.
It's kind of funny. I'm like, oh man, it just straighten you out and you just feel better. There's less stress on your back and your joints and your bones when you're squared up, and then you have supporting tissue. That is why, like, I was listening to a guy the other day, the a lot of the big time bodybuilders say that deadlifts aren't a great thing to do because they're more dangerous to your back than the benefit that you get from doing deadlifts, and let's see here. But then he said a good point. They asked him, they said, well, how about newbies? So should newbies be able to, people who are completely new at bodybuilding, should they do deadlifts? He goes, oh yeah, absolutely, they should do deadlifts. And he's like, well, why is it not good for pro bodybuilders, but new people? He goes, because they don't have the muscle strength to actually hurt themselves yet. Yeah, they could pull out their back, but as long as you keep your back straight, he said that's
Be
really
right
all
back.
you about. No worries. That's really all you have to worry about is keeping your back straight. He said, but they don't have the strength to actually hurt themselves. They said the reason why the pro bodybuilders, they're so strong that they'll actually tear giant muscle groups. But he said when you're first starting out, it's such a plus just to be able to deadlift 250 pounds, because he said most people get hurt when they're lifting their 3-year-old kid up or whatever. He said, and as long as you can get to the point where you can deadlift like 250 pounds, all these small little accidents that people have that they throw their back out and stuff usually go away. And that made a lot of sense. So I guess what I'm saying is, it seems like there's a certain amount of muscle that everybody should carry and have, and it'll keep your posture and your frame square and strong, keep you pretty healthy, and it doesn't actually take all that much. It's looking like, because I've wondered my whole life if my frame was going to be always out of whack carrying all this weight. And I've been surprised to see that everything's lining back up. So
yeah, well, I could never lie on my back. My back seemed to be arched and then just lying down flat, and I just felt like my weight was crushing me. So I was always on my side, and I still sleep on my side. But when my hubby leaves in the morning to go to work, I always roll onto my back, and I love it now. It just that feeling. But my back used to ache. I couldn't do it.
Right.
So I think my spine was curved, but now that seems to be shifting, and it actually feels nice lying on my back now.
For sure. Yeah, I sleep on my back too, and I don't have the back pain that I used to have. I don't have, I used to wake up at night and I was sore,
Yeah.
like you'd wake up in pain and you'd have to try to move, but nothing felt right. That's all gone now. I just sleep and I wake up, and it feels good to be able to sit up and not be stiff, just sit up and go, oh man, that feels good. I feel young again,
It's so freeing, right?
Yeah. And I mean, it puts your whole day off to a better start too when you don't wake up feeling like you got hit by a
miserable.
bus.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It really is.
Sandra, gyms aren't carrying the sort of insurance that makes them want disabled people on their premises lie on the form. Did you did that get to get a job once? Then they found out. I did that to get a job once, and they found out.
Oh, I gotcha. That's funny
Mhm.
for sure.
That's right.
Even with swimming pools, I have those hydrotherapy pools for older people and disabled, but then, they've got those cranes to help lift you and put you in there, but there's weight limits on those. Because I know when she had a commenter on one of her videos saying, why don't you go swimming? And it's like, well, you can't climb up and down the steps.
Right.
They've got those, there's no way you can pull yourself up. And yes, they do have hydrotherapy pools, but how are they going to get you in and out?
Right.
Because there's a weight limit on those machines. So it's, for us, it's not an option at that size.
For
so
sure.
Intentions are good, and we would love it, but TM, what new movements or physical fitness have you noticed since starting Carnivore?
All of them. I think all of them are almost new movements at this point. Realistically, yeah. I mean, first of all, the floor is no longer out of bounds.
Still for me, I don't want to go on the floor.
Yeah, I'm still not strong. I can get on the floor, but getting up, I really struggle. I still don't have the strength in my legs.
I'll tell you what, I did about do a face plant yesterday because I put the shake plate on all 3 motions and then I put it on 60. And when I do this on 60 for 5 minutes and then you go to stand up, your bean's been a little bit rattled for about 5 minutes. So I don't know if it does something with the equilibrium, the fluid in your ears or what, but I was almost felt concussed almost when I get up from that. So now I've learned to, when I do that, I actually put my hands on it like this and I keep my elbows bent like little shock absorbers. And I got to be careful. And then I think next time I'm going to take the movement that goes up and back. That one seems to rattle the base of my neck pretty hard. Like I get when that one kicks in. So I'm going to just do the side to side up. I don't know, the side to side wave thing. Because the other one that goes up and down, that's the one that screws up my neck. And I think that's the one. But anyways, so after 5 minutes, I went to get up. And I about had to brace myself on the wall of my forehead. Pretty fun. But yeah, I mean, just everything. I mean, there's so many things that are so things that sound stupid, but just taking big steps and not being out of balance.
Trimming my toenails again.
Yeah.
That's huge. That's huge for a movement to be able to do that again. Instead of having to ask somebody to do it for you. That's the most embarrassing thing you could ever ask.
Yeah. Nope.
But 100%. Just walking up steps and not having to go one at a time. We can actually walk up normally now.
Stairs still beat me. I'm not there yet. Stairs.
Like in Kung Fu Panda when he goes, my old enemy, stairs.
Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, quite literally all of them, like just being able to lift my legs, lift my knees high and my legs up with the hip flexors coming back. Those were really beat up from the heavy leg thing. Just it's so funny to be able to lift up my legs in bed flat again. That was something I couldn't do. I mean, it used to be hard to get my legs into bed, just everything has come back and just so much more balance and everything. It's incredible. Just had elk last week. I love it. Got the bug. Want to get one wild. Well, definitely give her a shot. They are tasty for sure. And you can at least get a cow. The cow tags are usually a lot cheaper and easier to get than a bull. If you just want meat, cow tags are a lot easier to get for sure. But there's plenty of them here, especially in eastern Montana.
Hi, Slovene Life School. Thank you so much for all that you were sharing. I'm feeling so much encouragement. Oh, you're welcome.
The PhD.
Yeah, glad.
That's why we're here.
For sure.
I'm standing on my vibration plate now. Good job. I've got mine under my desk. I had it going just before the stream.
That's awesome. Congratulations. Yeah. That's a big one, isn't it?
It is.
It's so, and it is fun. It's addicting to watch the progress. You know, when I was first standing on the vibration plate, 10 minutes was hard to make. You know, it's hard to get to 10 minutes. You know, I was leaning on the wall, panting, my legs were hurting, things were cramping. I was crying the last 2 minutes of it, and now it just goes by so quick. You know.
Yeah. And I still do a lot of work on my computer. I'm sitting here still, and I still find benefits from using it under my desk. If I don't have the vibration plate here, I do tend to swell up a little bit. And when I get up, I feel like an old woman, very stiff and sore. So the vibration plate just helps so much, even today.
For sure.
Carnivore Hercules. I like what Todd once said. You don't exercise to lose weight. You lose weight to exercise.
That's right.
Yeah,
100%.
should do a meme on that.
Yeah, I mean everything's backwards, right? They say that we're sick because we're fat, and it's not true. We're fat because we're sick. And they say that, you know, they just flip everything around. They sit here and they say, oh, well, you're sick because you have diabetes. It's like, no, we have diabetes because we're sick. You know, our diet's sick, our body's sick, it's inflamed. If you guys didn't catch it, go back and watch the special we did with Dr. Phil from the Steak and Butter Gang about inflammation and about how all this is
Tied to that.
tied to inflammation through diet, which causes all these illnesses, you know? So, yeah, absolutely. It's just, and that's what I've always been saying. It's just, I put a short out yesterday, in fact, and Dr. Kiltz even messaged me back on it. I was very, I gotta message him back, but he messaged me on Instagram because I quoted his, one of his sayings he uses in SBG quite a lot, which is if you label it, you enable it. And I think it's no wonder that they do that. They give all these things names like they're all individual sicknesses and illnesses, and they're not. They're all just different symptoms, different manifestations of the same sickness, which is our diet inflammation. But they do that because now they can, you know, they can, instead of just saying your diet's bad, so fix that, and that'll fix the inflammation and it'll fix these 50 things. Well, they can concentrate on these 50 things that are wrong and give each one of them a diagnosis, and then they can medicate each one of these problems. And then they can put you on 15 medications and then 5 more because 3 of your medications are having side effects with each other. So they can put you on 5 more to settle the side effects. And pretty soon you're just a car payment for those guys, or a house payment of drugs every month, you know? It's yeah.
And you're in therapy at the same time to deal with it all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the inflammation chart Dr. Phil put together. And it's so true. You know, everything in the center of all this is inflammation. And you could put right above that inflammation, you could put your diet, because that's what's causing all this stuff. It's diabetes, it's insulin resistance, it's metabolic disease, and it's eating carbs, sugar, seed oils causes this inflammation. And this inflammation causes all these diseases. It is all these diseases, just like obesity down here, metabolic syndrome, and type 2 diabetes.
Yep.
All of these things, they will tell you that you have diabetes because you are obese.
Right.
They'll tell you, and it's not. It's because of inflammation, and the inflammation is because of our diet. It's because of what we're eating, what we're putting in the body. And so all these things don't exist. They want the medical system, the world system will come out here and treat all these diseases so that they can medicate you and sell you prescriptions and have individual specialists that work on all these different things that you have to go spend your life going to see these stupid specialists and listen to them pontificate about, you know, how your life is just this way because your genes and whatever. And they want us to believe that this is the natural human state, is to have all this nonsense crap, and that we have to sit here and take drugs for it. It's not. It's not at all. We're not meant to be like this. We are not built to have all this sickness, and there's not all that out there. We just have to eat right, and we have to stop believing the lie that, you know, there's 640,000 different kinds of food out there. There's not. There's not. There's meat, there's dairy, there's animal products. That's it. And there's, you know, there's some fruits and vegetables out there, but that, even with the botany and everything that they did to the fruits and vegetables, it's not ideal for us. We don't need them. It's not essential, you know? So we just been lied to. And then they'll say, oh, it's too restrictive. It's like, why the hell is it too restrictive? It wasn't restricted for about 100 years ago since the beginning of time before that. It's only because you put all this crap out here and told us we need,
mac and cheese and all this processed stuff that's man-made.
Yeah, it's all this crap. It's not our natural. It's, as Ken Berry would say, it's not the proper human diet. It's not what we were built to eat. It's not for us. They're poisoning us, and they're telling us, they're playing us so stupid that they're saying, oh, well, you don't want to be restricted. You don't want to miss out on quality of life by not being able to eat all this stuff. And it's like, no, what's missing out on quality of life is not being able to breathe or walk or think or sleep.
Right.
Agreed.
Or get outside to enjoy yourself a little bit.
Yep. Just to have a life.
Yeah.
100%.
And it's funny because, in the last week or so, I've been starting to transfer videos and stuff of my mother, who was an opera singer. And I have a very large archive that I have to get through, like a lot. And, to be able to get to a place emotionally and mentally where I can actually watch her now is wonderful. But, I see now when I look at her, because she was definitely a poster child for lymphedema and lipedema. I'm sorry, she just was. And to have an understanding of the pain that she was in whilst having to sing and produce that sound, I first of all, it just astonishes me even more because I can see that pain that she's in because I've got that pain. And to hear her sing when she's standing up, when she is in pain, and the difference in her tone when she's singing and sitting down. I mean, it's like listening to almost two different singers because she's sitting down, she's comfortable, she's not in pain, and the sound is just completely different. I can hear it. And, and to think, at the time, Mum and I would just put it down to us being fat when actually that wasn't the only reason. Later in life, she did get type 2 diabetes. And, she went back as far as she could remember. And there was no diabetes in her family at all. So it's not a hereditary thing. It just that it happens because of the rubbish that is out there on the shelves, the sugars and all of that. It's ridiculous. And when I think, she'd have been 91 this year, but when I see these videos of her and my heart just aches. And I just wish we had had the knowledge back then in the 90s when Mum was alive. It would have been a game changer for her, and it's just amazing to look at those memories with carnivore fresh eyes, if you like.
Yeah.
It really is quite sobering. It's quite
sure.
sobering. Yeah. Bless her heart.
For sure.
Is there a time limit on the vibration plate? I use mine constantly when I'm sitting at my desk. As soon as it twitches off, I turn it back on
Turn it
again
back
because
on.
I just love it.
I'm starting to do that too with my morning stint. Sometimes if I do a 20-minute stint, and if it's like, and I do another 20 minutes straight after.
Yeah, I think they put limits on it because I think they have to. I think everything has limit. There's probably something they shook to death one time in testing after 4 hours or something and came up with some limit. But I think it's probably a personal choice. I mean, there's some people that shouldn't use it if they have metal parts and pieces in their joints. Those are bad.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that, I can tell you this: I would never do 20 minutes if on my hands and knees because I don't think my brain can take it. I think.
Yeah,
Like
I
a-
limit it when I'm standing up. I think it goes for 15 minutes. I haven't
Yeah.
really timed it. And when it switches off, that's my standing done.
Mine
And then
only
I
goes
come and
for
sit
10.
down.
Yeah, mine
Is
only go
it?
for 10 minutes stops.
Yeah,
And I
I
gotta
think
reset
mine's
it.
15.
Mine's
Mm.
20.
Oh, is it? Well, maybe mine's 20.
If you've got the
timed it.
MFit,
Yeah,
yeah.
it is. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Because
Mine-
I'm literally clock watching and I forget to time it. And then I'm like, oh, it's over 10 minutes. Maybe it's
Default's
15. And then it
15.
keeps going.
but it looks like 20 minutes is the max per sesh.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, 20 minutes. So I just do that morning and night, standing up, and then through the day, if I'm sitting at my desk, it's on permanently, except now because it might be a bit noisy. Same here. I'm finally able to do light housework again. It feels good to be able to do some housework again, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's frightening my kids at the moment because I'm having issues with the youngest doing his chills. Still. I keep on threatening him. Like when I started this, I said, dude, you got 100 kilos to get this right. Because once I've lost about 100 kilos, I'm going to run rings around the lot of you. Then I'll show you what a tiny house looks like.
And the kids and the husband, they don't do the housework like you want it done. It's always better to do it yourself.
Not even close.
Yeah, when I clean, everything's spick and span and spotless, and I just feel so cool. And then my husband cleans, there's like still piles of dishes and things everywhere. And Ella, oh my gosh, don't even ask.
If you do the dishes, do them all.
And not just the ones that you used, right?
Oh, he soaks everything. Everything has to be soaked. I'm like, just use a bit of elbow grease and scrub it.
He's buying time. Yeah, that's all he's doing.
Oh my gosh.
And hoping somebody else comes along and does it for him. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I soaked it for you. Yeah.
And then I go to do it, and then he says, "Oh, look, I'll do it. I'll finish it off." I'm like, "Well, it's been sitting here for 3 hours, or it's been sitting here 24 hours all day."
I think it's soaked.
You're going to do it now because I'm standing in front of the sink. No, I'm finishing it up now. Hi, Kate Collins. I've been binge watching Marwan's journey this weekend. Very inspiring. Yay!
Oh, thank you, Kate, sweetheart. Hope you enjoy the madness.
There you go, Josephine. Marwan is beautiful and keeps it real.
I ain't got time to be anything else. Seriously, do not have the time to tie it up with pretty bows. And yeah, I just don't. So yeah, what you get is what you get on my channel.
Darth Carnivore. Doing basic house chores used to be my form of exercise for a long time when I first started Keto Carnivore at 4:10.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah.
Nice. Well done, darling.
It's all movement. It's all counts as movement, steps, walking up and down the hallway with a laundry basket. I mean, it's all good. It's more than we were doing before, sitting on the couch, not being able to do anything. Sitting at the sink. Yeah. Time traveler Karen, I think the last thing to heal in this carnivore lifestyle is our self-esteem and confidence.
Yes.
Yeah, that's 6 months in. Mine is starting to. My mind is ready to go. The body's not there yet, so the confidence is up there, and it's like, and I just want to. So yeah, it's one of it. I do feel that that's sort of like. Yeah, the family's not ready. They're not ready.
Yeah. It's something Marwan and I have been talking a lot about. I can't versus I won't. You know, it's been a big thing. We're like, I can't do this. I can't do this. It's like, no, we need to make a choice. We need to. You explain it because it was your thing. So
no, it was your thing. No, but there is a very
it's a big difference.
There is a very big difference between I can't. There's that sort of when you say I can't, you're setting yourself up for that sort of defeatist kind of chewed, if you like.
Yeah.
But if you say you won't, that's kind of drawing a line in the sand. It's making a stand for yourself.
Yes.
So yeah, there's a big difference between the two, definitely.
Yeah. That was a big realization, wasn't it?
It was, and you don't realize how often you say I can't
Yeah.
until you're aware of that and go, I can't, I won't, and you correct yourself.
Instead of saying either one of those, say I'm gonna.
I'm gonna. I won't, but yeah, and I'm gonna. Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. I agree with you, Michael. Absolutely. Yeah.
This way you start planting in your head, you start planting that seed that you're gonna do it.
Yep. Yep.
Instead of I can't or I won't. Change the way you think. You're
Yep.
putting out that signal.
See, that adds
out.
another layer altogether. Hey, Lindy.
It does, yeah. Depending
Yep.
on the situation, like, sometimes we
Or
deal
I
with
will.
people and what they say. And it's like, they say something and it's like, I can't deal with this anymore. It's like, I won't deal with this. So that's
Yep.
where that one came in. But definitely, if we're talking about physical activity or something, we may not be able to physically do something now, but we will be able to do it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we need.
Agreed.
So there's two different things. We just don't want to say we can't do anything. We need to make a decision. No, we're not going to put up with this crap anymore. Yes, we are going to try and better ourselves to do this physical activity or whatever it is. So
Self-talk and self-tough love.
It is. Yeah, we need to push through a little bit. Bit of tough love sometimes. We can't be kind to ourselves all the time. Hi, Marla. A bit off topic, but Todd, do you take 2 days off per week from Lugol's Eye? Oh, we've had this one?
Oh,
Or is this a different one? That was the first.
Different one. Yeah.
Is it the different one?
No, no, I
days off.
definitely do not. No, I'm addicted. It's crack to me now. So. But no, I've heard that you're supposed to, but I do not. I have not done that yet at all. Finally, pretty much pain free after 1 month of carnivore. Congratulations!
Nice,
Awesome,
darling.
Lori.
Well done.
That is incredible.
Healing is so more important than the losing the weight. We all need to lose weight, obviously, but the healing part of this journey is definitely what we're aiming for. Daniel, what is everyone's opinion on larger people losing weight? Would you advise losing weight first and then exercising at a safe weight, or just start exercising and dieting at the same time?
Depends on
definitely.
how much pain you're in.
Lose weight first.
Yeah, I would say lose weight because here's the thing. Like we were talking about, you want to do small things that are sustainable. If you put too much on your plate, and we've all done this 1,000 times, you're like, yeah, all right, on Monday, I'm joining a gym and I'm going to lift 400 hours a week and I'm going to eat celery and carrots and I'm going to fast and I'm going to drink
calorie restrict.
Water.
Yeah.
You're like, you come up with this thing and it's like, yeah, but what we have to realize is that we were doing that because we're always doing it on a calorie restrictive standard American diet, which meant we always had a timeline, because it's like what we're really saying is, how long can I do something that's unsustainable? And the answer was not very damn long.
No.
So we were in a hurry. We're like, we got to get this done. We're on a clock, because basically I can only hold my breath so long. I can only white knuckle it and hang on this ledge for 6 months, for 9 months, for 3 months, whatever. So we're always trying to get the most done in that short period of time, because going into it, every ounce of our being knew it wasn't sustainable. So we're trying to get as much weight off in the unsustainable amount of time that we were actually going to be able to hold our breath and do it. And this is not that same thing. This is do one thing that's consistent, that's going to be your new life.
Yeah.
Is getting rid of sugar and eating fat and meat. And once you have that under your belt and that's not a struggle, then add some things in. And what your objective is not even to lose weight. Your objective is to eat carnivore, and your objective is to heal. And then when you have that under your belt and that's working for you, then your objective can be to get strong and in turn burn body fat, but it's got to be in that order, because otherwise, if you put it all on there, and you're going to stress yourself out so much,
you're
going to crack, and you're not going to make it through. You need to save all that for when the carb monster comes, and you got to fight him off for the first few months,
Yeah, give your body a go. Give it a chance. Otherwise, one of my phrases I use around here is like, I have no interest in busting my foo-foo valve. Just give your body a chance to catch up because, depending on your situation, will depend on how much healing your body's got to do,
Right.
how much weight you have to lose. And, doing an unsustainable exercise routine at the start, that's just going to put extra stress on your body.
And the last thing you want to do is hurt yourself at the start.
Oh, you really don't.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just drop
Because you're
some
already
weight
hurt.
first. Right. You're already dealing with all the pain and
Yep.
from holding all that weight. Drop some weight first, and then you'll be able to. You'll feel it. Your body will tell you when it's time to work out.
Oh yeah.
When it's ready, it'll want to do it. Your mind
Yep.
will tell you want to do it.
Yeah, just keep it simple. I put a lot of pressure on myself at the start because I wanted to lose weight very fast, and I did lose weight fast, but I still didn't look like everybody else on the road. Like I so big, but yeah, just take it. You got to take it simply. Keep it simple, make it sustainable. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, Collins, Fat Resources Society YouTube channel has a couple of videos of lymphatic breathing exercises. I'm not sure what the lady's name was, though. Okay.
I'll have to check it out.
I wonder if that was Jocelyn.
YouTube channel, let's go. Resource Society. Okay, I'll have to check that out. That's awesome.
I see a lot of TV programs are sending larger people to gyms to lose weight, and I think to myself that people should lose weight first to reduce the risk of heart attacks, etc.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, think about the state of inflammation and the building blocks that, if you're if you are in a pretty bad spot and you're pretty out of shape, got a lot of extra weight and a lot of extra inflammation, think about just how your tissue's feeling, just think about, how inflamed and how weak and how tattered and the crappy building blocks that your tissue's made out of at the time. You need to replace that first. You need to give your body the nutrients and time to heal. That's why the Steak and Butter Gang's priming protocol, I think, is fantastic because they concentrate on healing first, even if you gain weight at first, which, by the way, it's not a new thing, right? Bodybuilders have been doing this. They just called it a bulk. And I mean, fighters do this because they know that they have to build up their metabolism and feed their body and fuel it before they can cut. And so this has been around a long time, right? And I mean, even biblically, feasting and fasting is a biblical thing. I mean, we have seed time and harvest. We have summer and winter. We have seasons. We are built to go through these cycles of replenishment, nourishment, and then, strain and struggle and exercise that keeps us fit. I mean, that's a fasting season, feast and famine. So that's been around for forever. It's what we're designed to do. So, I don't know. It's the idea that you're just going to go into the gym without having nutrients and fixing yourself. Problem is people see overweight people as having too much nutrients, and there couldn't be anything further from the truth. We have empty calories and toxicity that our body stored away and created fat, and that's it, because that's all carbohydrates are, because they're not essential. They're just like a excess calorie byproduct, of fuel that just gets stored as fat. And then with all the red dye and seed oils and toxic crap and oxalates, gets stored in our fat too. It's not fuel. It's not it's nutrients. It's not nutrients. It's just, dead, empty fuel of excess that we don't need. It's pretty crazy.
Dang, I'm late for smoking a London broil with a reverse sear.
That's a real good reason to be late, though, John. I'd be really. The other day, I was late for. I had to step out of my own show and go get the ribs off the smoker.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then we had to watch him eat them.
Oh, yeah, that was cruel. I'm just saying that was cruel.
I didn't know they were going to be done that quick. I mean,
Mhm.
sacrifices were made,
Yeah.
John.
9 o'clock in the morning, he was figuring out what time do I need to start this so to be ready halfway through the show. We're on to you, Todd. Yeah.
Planned and
Sacrifice.
rude because we weren't invited over. Rude.
Actually, I did figure this out today because,
Uh-oh.
I'm not a very smart man, but eventually it catches up to me. So I did ruin a chuck roast and a brisket because I was trying to smoke them to temperatures that everybody's telling me to smoke them to. However, I am at 5,000 feet in elevation, and these people are Texas boys down at sea level. And so what I looked up is that water boils at sea level at 212 degrees, I believe. Water where I'm at boils at 202 degrees. So I've been basically 10 degrees overcooked, smoking the heck at everything too hot. So finally yesterday I smoked a brisket instead of to 203 degrees that turned it into basically charcoal protein powder. And I smoked it to 193 degrees and it was perfect yesterday. So I finally have that figured out. You just have to figure out the boiling point of water at your elevation, take those times at sea level, and then deduct your difference. And that variable seemed to have made all the difference. So for anybody that's wondering, that seemed to be the calculation that worked. And everybody's probably sitting right there going, well, yeah, you thunderheaded lummox, of course it is. But I just found out yesterday, so I don't know. Hopefully somebody need to hear that and it saves a brisket. All brisket lives matter. So
All brisket lives.
Lindy, turn your hot tub into a cold plunge tub.
there you
I'm
go.
actually chicken for that. I'm so, yeah. There's a few times where the thermostat was turned down and I went to put my leg in and it was actually painful. And I think because back then I did have a lot of lymphedema. Now that my lymphedema has sort of gone down and I'm not so inflamed, maybe I could try it, but I'm suffering from the cold now. Like I've got the heater going on right now because it's freezing. So I don't need to hop in the cold plunge. I just need to step outside. It's freezing out there.
Sure.
I do love my hot tub, like really hot.
58 degrees in Melbourne. 58.
It's cold. It's cold.
58. I'd have the window open and enjoying the nice cold breeze.
Oh, we do have blue sky today, so yeah.
It's a trap. There's no clouds keeping the warmth in. It's a trap.
I know. Don't go towards the light.
Oh, no.
Yes, I tried a pool exercise class years ago when I was much heavier. Great while in the water, but the G-force getting out was too much. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
It's a big change.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. I don't know. I don't swim. I've never been in a pool, and I will never go in a pool.
I can't wait, but yeah, I've got to lose a lot more weight.
Swimming's awesome. I love it.
Oh, it is. It's fantastic.
Go back in. Yeah.
I think that's because you guys float. I don't float, and I know that I'm supposed to float. Everybody says I'm supposed to float. I do not float.
Do you have it? I remember back in the day, I would dive in the deep end, and I would try. I stress the word try to swim against the bottom of the pool. Yeah, not an easy thing to do when your back end is up all the time. So, you're sort of like swimming along the bottom of it like a crab with your bum in the air, trying to get you just to be right up against the bottom of the... Nah, not happening.
Yeah.
Not when you're a human flotation device.
Well, I can now actually sit in the corner of our hot tub and I can sit on the seat. Before I used to float, but now what happens is my skin's floating. So my legs are like vertical. It's awful. And it's really embarrassing. So like if people are looking in, you can see the skin floating and it's just, it doesn't look good. It's not a good look at all. But yeah.
Keeping it real.
Skin. I'm a boat anchor.
Is going to be an issue.
The skin's floating now. Yeah.
I do. I'm a natural born boat anchor. I go straight to the bottom and that's where I stay. I was fly fishing I was fly fishing one time up at a dam in Ennis, Montana, and I stepped off of a rock, which I thought was only going to be ankle deep water. And the next thing I know, I was standing on the bottom of the river with water over my head in a hole.
Up?
I didn't have waders on. I was just wearing jeans, but I fell all the way to this bottom in this hole. And I was standing there. My buddy Brad's fly rod that I borrowed went floating down the damn river because it just took off on me because I panicked. And I had to walk out of that hole. I had to climb rocks under the water, climb up the rocks because I sunk. There was no floating. I was standing on the bottom of the river, getting pushed up against some rocks, and I had to climb out of that stupid hole and get up the rocks that were slippery and covered in moss and get up the rocks to get a breath. And I had to walk out of the dang river. There's no swimming. I don't know. Everybody says that about people, but there's something about people in my family. I don't know why we're so heavy, but we just weigh like lead and we sink. So I stay out of boats. I stay out of water. Just not doing it. You drop me into a lake and I'm going down at least 500 feet, I figure. Not doing it.
My gym has actual stairs and handrails going into the water, 24-hour fitness in Mesquite, Texas.
Nice.
Yeah.
That would be
Still, I just don't like being judged and having people looking at me. I feel uncomfortable looking at myself for other people to look at me.
Right.
I stay away. Yeah.
Belly not touching the steering wheel. That's a good one for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't been in the car since the beginning of the year, so I need to get in there again to see how much progress there is and whether my belly's still up the steering wheel. Probably
Works for sure. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy to get in the car and fit so nice now. I'm like, oh, this is how you're supposed to feel in here. Which vibration plate do you recommend? I just have the Life Pro. It's the one that's good for 550 pounds. And I mean, man, it does good. I was actually, I guess, when I was doing squats yesterday, I had 90 pounds of weights, had a 45-pound dumbbell in each hand. And so I was right at 545 with the dumbbells when I was on there. And it did just fine.
but they only send to is it Canada and the USA?
Yeah.
I believe.
So. Yeah.
So like the likes of Lindy and myself, Daniela, we have an Everfit. Their highest capacity vibration plate is 180 kilos. So if you're in the United States, go Life Pro, because I would have.
Yeah, we're in Australia, by the way.
So that's almost 400 pounds they goes in.
Yep.
Wow.
I've struggled with type 2 diabetes for about 30 years, 11 weeks into Carnivore now. Wow.
It's awesome.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
awesome. And let us know. I'm guessing it improved or went away. But that's incredible.
Yeah, it improves with a lot of people. I definitely reversed my type 2 diabetes. It's apparently in remission, which is what my doctor told me.
Oh my God, the doctors.
For all, what is your special go-to meal for a treat meal? Meat meal. Treat meat meal.
Bacon. I'm enjoying bacon.
Yeah, bacon, I think. Bacon. I like mine crispy. I like it fried within an inch of its life, so to speak. My youngest son actually does it really, really well, like really crispy. And I love it like that. I really do.
Mine is definitely smoked prime rib with horseradish sour cream.
Now you're getting fancy. This is a treat. Treat, Todd.
That is my treat. What are you talking about? That is my treat. I was because now I'm back to going to the shop and stuff in the morning to work because, well, I'm healed. So I was there with the guys the other day, and my brother, I don't know, something came up about they're trying to catch a little pig the other day. And he goes, dang, those things are fast. And I said, you'd be fast too if you tasted like bacon. If you were made out of bacon, you'd have to be quick too. Everything's trying to eat you.
That's right.
Not wrong. Ooh.
What's your favorite treat?
Oh, I've had one tomahawk for my birthday, and I loved that. But
Oh,
it's not
yeah.
something I can have very often. But definitely, if I'm going to celebrate, it'll be a tomahawk because that
Same.
was damn good in the smoker. Yeah, I'm loving my smoker. So
It's so good, isn't it?
yeah,
Also, for a more appropriate treat that Michael's giving me heck about, Ashley Carnivore Brothers. Shout out to Ashley and the Carnivore Brothers. Ashley's Eye of Round smoked beef jerky is fantastic. So
oh my
good.
gosh, that was really good. I actually need to get a video on that so I can learn how to make it.
He sent it
Yeah.
to me. He
Oh,
sent me
did
the
he?
video. Yeah.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
send it to you. It's really
Can you
good.
send it to me? Yeah, definitely want to make some.
Yeah, it's
That
good.
was so good. He had a big bag in the fridge in Austin, and it's a store-dried beef jerky. And
So good. Best beef jerky I ever had.
I actually want to get the smoker that Michael recommended. I think it was last week's video, the Timu
The Timu?
smoker.
Hey, I still got it smoking. That piece of chicken is still smoking from last.
It's gonna be
Still not ready yet.
absolutely
It's gonna be
amazing.
awesome when it's done, though.
Mwah.
I'm hoping in another 4 weeks it'll be done and ready to eat.
4 weeks.
It's slow.
Yep. But that's the smoker for me.
it's really good. Yeah. I was a couch potato and did no exercise for the last 6 to 7 years. Once on Carnivore for about 6 weeks, I had the energy to walk. But I had, have we got another one? Or
Yeah, there should be another one with that. Yeah. Start slowly.
had to start slowly. Now I exercise in the pool with heavy-duty foam barbells. Finally getting some muscle back. That's
Oh,
excellent,
nice.
That's
Anna.
awesome.
Great job. Yeah.
That is fantastic.
Congratulations. No, it's so good, and it comes back faster than you think, and it's compounding, right? 1 turns to 2, 2 turns to 4, 4 turns to 8. I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah, it's definitely a process. When you're starting out from as big as we were, it does take time to get to the point where you want to start moving and working out. And when you can physically do it, so you can't jump straight into it.
Mm.
I'm exercising with you, Lindy and Lynn, and I lost 1 inch on my arms in the first month. They were 8.5 to 7.5 centimeter. That's fantastic, Arlene. We did the arm flab challenge last month. Now we're doing a walking workout challenge. And yeah, I lost a centimeter on my arms as well. And yeah, it's all about strengthening the fascia, which sort of holds everything in place. Yeah, so I'm hoping that it'll get to the point where, I've lost a centimeter. That's better than nothing.
Sure.
I will probably still need surgery, but when it gets done, I'm hoping to have really nicely shaped arms, bit of muscle in there, and be strong. Be strong again. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Great job, Arlene.
Very good.
Hi, DC. You don't need exercise, but you do need movement. Obese people are malnourished, sick, and have weak joints, etc. You need to fix a lot of things before exercise. Yeah.
There's another one that goes with that too.
Yeah.
A light exercise to a point, but hitting the gym will only do more damage than good. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's taken a while. It's weird, when you're there though. Like I guess it's taken me about 20 months to get there, because now I finally feel it's a weird thing, because when you're sick and you got so many problems, you don't even have the system faculties to even exhaust a muscle yet. Even as crappy as your muscles are, there's other things, right? Your heart, your lungs, your air, your blood flow that gives up before your muscles do. Now I'm finally healthy enough to actually exhaust a muscle. And I just internally, I know that I'm in a good spot. That's happened. I've enough healed up. I'm like, oh, this is where you can actually exercise, because not only can I exhaust a muscle and work it out, but I can recover, which those were far and few between,
Hmm.
Those
Smoked ribs. Oh, okay.
These guys are making me hungry.
Pennsylvania.
Guess what's for dinner?
What?
Oh, what have you got?
What do you got smoking today? Something?
18 raw eggs.
Oh, here's you doing the eggs, huh?
Yeah, I gotta go get my last 18.
You did that on purposeful.
Should we show the video?
Oh God, please.
Can you pull that?
You know
video?
you want to. You know you want to. Get it over with. Oh my gosh.
Well, I'll read through these. If Michael, did you see the video, Michael?
Up on
It was SBG.
WhatsApp. Yeah.
I'll get it.
I'm ugly in that video because I didn't have a hat on and I was just working out and I was hot as crap and I didn't shave that day. So you're gonna see ugly Todd. Well, uglier Todd.
Todd with bed hair.
Todd with 5 o'clock shadow and a bald head. Hot. Will autophagy eventually take care of loose skin? Depends on how much you have, honestly. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it depends on how much autophagy and how much loose skin. So there's that guy, I don't know, he fasted for 400 and whatever days, and he lost like 150 or 200 pounds. And all his loose skin got ate because he was in a constant state of autophagy for 400 and some days. So it did eat his loose skin. Most people, that's not going to work for.
And we had a lot more to lose than that as well. So
For sure.
Yeah,
like there's not enough autophagy on the planet to get rid of what I'm dealing with. So
no.
Yeah. So, but if you have a little, for sure, it can over time, and everything will get better. But it's not going away for sure. If you have a bunch.
I think it's a lipedema thing with water. My sister can't stop floating. Yeah, well, I'm sitting now, but my skin's floating. So the lipedema is in the skin, I guess.
That's funny. Well, I think she meant it. Yeah, something. I don't know. I don't know how that works. I would think it's the other way around. I would think that the lymph fluid is equal to the weight of water. So I think when you're big because you have more lymph fluid, that's probably why you sink, versus being big because you have more fat because that's volume, Oh, there we go. Play it, Michael. That's it. See how small? There's 18 eggs. Does not take up much room.
I just egg yolks.
Yeah, 18 egg yolks. That's it.
Oh,
down the hatch.
Oh,
easy. But see how fast you can get 18 eggs down, and make Mary one.
I'll stick to scrambled eggs.
Those are scrambled.
Yeah, but cooked.
They'll scrambled once they hit the belly.
How do you cook a yolk?
You could.
Yeah, but they're gross. They're like if they're dried out, So,
add butter.
I don't know. I never tried one. I'll have to try it and see.
It tastes just like a runny egg yolk, only thicker.
No, I know.
I love to dip my steak in egg yolks, but I
don't mind that. But they've got to be
first.
partially cooked. I can't. I couldn't. I could not drink them like that.
Look how fast I got 18 egg yolks down there.
You did.
I mean, it's just like that. And so it's way harder to just separate the stupid yolks. And I crack them all in a big bowl, and I got this big flat spoon, and I scoop them up, and then I let the whites just fall off of them, and I just plant them in there, and I just move them over. It's the easiest way I've found. And I put them over there, and then it takes, I don't know, how long is that video? How long did that last?
21 seconds.
Yeah, so it's probably 15 seconds to drink 18 egg yolks.
Yep.
It's done, and you're just done with it. You don't have to sit there and fight it. And you saw, there was literally, there's a ton of whites left. Like, I bet there's 30 some ounces of whites left, but those egg yolks only take up like 10, 12 ounces. So it's just like, boom, gone. and you get all that DHEA, you get all that protein, you get all that fat, and you're just done. You know, so I'm a fan.
Oh, I don't know what a sarlacc is. I'm not a Star Wars girl.
There was a comment before that
I had that one already.
got my attention.
What was it?
You
can scroll up. You should be able to select it.
Yeah. It's from Daniela Chamorro H. She said, "I'm seriously considering ongoing carnivore." Yeah, there it is.
It's coming up. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get there. Okay, one second.
Don't jump ahead.
Yeah, we're going in line.
Okay. Just shut up, Marvin. So I'm talking to myself.
Michael's starring them as we go. So
right,
okay. If you see the star next to it, that means it's coming up.
I just need to shut my pie hole.
No worries. I'm an hour late, but must be nice to be a little chilly, laughing out loud. I'm in New Mexico. Or no, I'm in Northwest Montana. Wow, and it's 110 degrees. God
look at they even did the math for Lindy.
Thank you. Yeah, 43 degrees Celsius is hot. We don't get that hot here in Melbourne. I don't even remember if we ever got that hot.
And look at finding Carnivore 9 months ago helped with the heat tolerance.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I can concur to that it does help with the heat tolerance. Man, Northwest
Montana. Yeah.
So what you're like in you're in like Kalispell or someplace over there? Because man, I didn't realize it's that hot. I'm in Bozeman, and it's only like 92 to 95 here today. Man, 110, that's crazy. Northwest usually doesn't get that hot on the west side. Now the eastern Montana, I can see it getting that hot. Huh.
I used to believe the fat on the obese folks guaranteed would float it to West African safaris on Wild Earth YouTube channel.
Yeah, it doesn't. Fat does not equal float. I can promise you that. Depends on what you're made out of, for sure.
Well, hippopotamuses, they can sort of go underneath, don't they? Sink?
I don't know. I'm seriously considering going carnivore. I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and I gained tons of weight, more than 60 pounds, because of the pills that make you feel hunger all the time. Yeah, so it's messing with your satiety hormones and it's blocking leptin sensitivity.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you for sure, my sister was bipolar too, and she took bipolar medicine. She's no longer taking that. She's down. She's carnivore now. Almost a year. She's down 77 pounds now, and all that crap healed up. And I can tell you, I had terrible anxiety and depression, and that's gone. When you don't have the animal fats, you do not have hormone satiety, or you do not have hormone balance, and you will not have satiety. You won't have any protection from cortisol. Your cortisol levels will be out of whack too. So yeah, I think, man, I'm really excited to see. Definitely let us know how you're doing, but I think that a lot of that's going to heal up in very short fashion if you do it correctly.
Good.
High fat. You should definitely go high fat. As much as you can tolerate at first.
Is it Dr. Georgia Eade? She has a really good book on disorders like this, so she might be a good resource to have a look at as well.
For sure.
She supports carnivore diet. I can't remember what the book was called.
Plains, Montana. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah. That's hot. That is hot for sure. Let's see. Oh, I already hit that one. Next.
Hi, Tara. Just because you're fat don't mean you can't push yourself. I'm going to hike the Grand Canyon on 0 carbs, fasted, and not going to care what anyone else says. Sure. Good job. Yeah, if you could.
Be careful, though. How hot is it right now at the Grand Canyon? That's got to be terrible. That's got to be crazy hot. But yeah, for sure. You can definitely push yourself.
Yeah. There's being
Depends
fat and there's
what's-
being fat and in pain. If you're in pain, you can't push yourself because there's just
Yeah.
you can't do it. You can't do it.
Everyone's got their own journey, and you just have to
Yeah.
work with what you've got. And you don't
Yeah.
look like, you're in a position that we were in. So good. Great.
She was. She's gotten out of it, but she's lost a bunch of weight. I think she's down a couple 100 pounds.
So hiking the Grand Canyon, that sounds wonderful. I mean, that's a
do
goal
it if
to
you
work
can.
for. Yeah, I definitely want to go hiking and doing all that stuff, but I couldn't do it 2 years ago. No way.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you got to get to a point, but I think she's been doing this a long time. But she's just trying to get rid of some of the lymphedema, I think.
The gym will take you to the next level. You become the crowd you keep. So the gym is an awesome crowd. And the more muscle you get, the easier you burn calories. Of course, go at your own pace.
For sure.
Yeah, maybe there'll be a day where I feel comfortable to walk into a gym. I'm not going to write it off, but right now I don't feel comfortable.
No.
Maybe once I don't have the loose skin and I can actually wear track pants and not have them fall down on me all the time and feel a bit more comfortable. I'd love to be able to go sit in the sauna and do some stuff like that, which, I don't have access to here. So I'm not writing it off, but right now I'm not there yet.
Yeah, me either.
But never say never.
For sure.
That's right. I used to have flappy skin around my middle, but it's now like elephant skin. I've actually even added fat on my belly just above the belt, and it's subcutaneous. I'm so happy about that.
That's awesome, John. Yes, hippos sink and cannot swim. Finally, I know my heritage. I come from a long line of hippos.
You're a Viking hippo.
Viking hippo.
Oh, there's going to be a YouTube video I'm going to send to you in the email, Todd. You're done. I got you, boo.
Thank you, Jody. Yeah, Dr. Ead's book is Change Your Diet, Change Your Mind. An excellent resource. So something to look into. Thank you for that.
Holy cow. I was sitting here rifling through these because we were 20 minutes behind. I think we caught up.
We are.
All right. Make sure. Anybody got any more questions before we go on some wild ramblings?
You got a story for us, Todd? We haven't had a story in a while.
Yes, I did my 6-month anniversary, and the challenge was, because my greatest moment for the first 6 months was Cosette's fart and the CPAP machine. You owe me an upped-anteed story, dude. Let's go.
I don't know.
Well,
I have one.
To be honest, the plain one, I cannot find it because I wanted to send Myron the plain story. And I've been through all the videos and I cannot find it. So maybe I'd love to hear it again. I love it.
All right. I'm trying to think. I can't remember where I was flying to. I think I was flying to. It's either flying to Vegas or I was flying to Maryland. Can't remember where I was flying to. But anyhow, it was when I was flying at pretty much the heaviest I've ever flown. I was every bit of 650 pounds at the time. And I had a coach seat because I'd never flown before. So anyhow, it was just pretty funny because I'm very hyper aware of what's going on. I start walking in there and I get in the plane and I'm finding about how much trouble this is about to be. But as I'm walking down the aisle, every person, I got my boarding pass in my hand and I'm looking at the seats because I'm looking for my seat. Well, what I notice is every person that has the seat empty next to them is looking at me terrified to death. They are just terrified to death. And so as I walk past them, the sigh of relief that comes out of them and their posture is like, they just go, oh, thank God I just dodged a 650-pound bullet, So I start walking down, and I'm going to have to drop a little bit of language here because this is what really happened. But as I'm walking down, I finally find my seat, which is almost the back of the plane. I get back there, and I find my seat, and I look over, and there's a woman sitting in the window seat there. And when I stopped and I looked at her, she goes, "Ah, fuck." And she drops an F-bomb. Well, thank God that she did that because her mood was so bad that I went straight past being awkward and feeling bad for her, because I would have felt bad for her if she would have been a human about it, but she went straight to nasty, which just made me just go straight to asshole. And I just didn't care anymore. So I'm like, okay, game on. So when she said that, I just started laughing out loud. And because I loved how miserable I was about to make her next 3.5 hours. So I was laughing so hard. And that eased the tension around me because every eye is on me because I am so huge that every eye is on me. So when I started laughing, everybody else, it eased up the tension with everybody else around me, and they all started laughing because they all, I mean, like, what are we going to do? We're all in this shit show together now. So it is just what it is. So anyways, I sit down and, you know, I'm grabbing the seatbelt. Well, the seatbelt goes like tink, and it's like right here. It's like that much short. So I'm sitting there and I'm trying to get buckled in. And I mean, I'm just squishing this poor lady up against the glass. She's just like plastered up against the side of the plane now. About 2/3 of me is pushing on her. I'm hanging out. I'm trying to hang out in the aisle. Everything's a problem. And so I waved to the stewardess and I'm like, hey, this thing, I'm going to need like one of those seatbelt extensions. She goes, okay. She brings me a seatbelt extension and I plug that one in. It's still not long enough. So I yelled, hey, make mine a double. And so she brings me another seatbelt extension. I get it on. I get that thing ratcheted up. And I'm sitting there, and I mean, I'm squoze into this thing. I mean, I look like somebody squoze me into skinny jeans or something. I'm just like squoze into the seat, and then everything's just pouring out over the handrails. It's really ugly. And anyhow, and I'm just so far forward, and I'm leaning out in the aisle as much as I can. And we're sitting there, and the whole thing goes on, and you can hear little whisperings and stuff, and I'm just laughing because this lady is just seething mad. She's so mad. It's coming out of every pore in her body how much she hates that I'm on this plane and that I'm sitting next to her. And so I start laughing, and she even calls the stewardess over because I'm laughing, and she demands a seat change. Well, the stewardess is pissed at her because how she's acting. So she goes, I'm sorry, ma'am, you can get off the plane or you can, sit in the seat to you about. So anyhow, she hates my guts, but she's actually rallying pretty much everybody else on the plane that, to be on my side of things actually. And so anyhow, this was all going pretty well. And it was finally time for takeoff. And that's when things got hilarious because when we took off in the plane, I didn't know this, but on the inside of the handrails rest, there's a button, and that's to recline your seat back. Oh no! Well, I'm so pressed in there, at like I'm just 5 pounds or 10 pounds of crap in a 5-pound bag right now. So I'm pressed in there that on takeoff, my thigh hits the button unwillingly, and my seat flies back, and now I'm looking at the bottom of this dude's beard behind me. And I can't sit up. I'm too heavy and the plane's taking off. And I'm just laughing uncontrollably because this is the funniest thing. And this big bearded dude is like right behind me looking down at me. And he's just like terrified. And I'm like, hey, bud, I think if we work together, we can get this seat back out of your lap. He's pushing on it. I'm leaning forward. We get that thing to finally get up, and I'm still not sure how I'm not sure if it broke or whatever. I'm trying to figure out, but it gets up and it latches. So I'm sitting there and I'm just like clenched and I'm just trying to hold everything together. But what happens is after just a little while, I start to relax a bit. Well, when I relax, my thigh hits the button and I go back. And now I'm in this dude's lap and I'm like, what in the hell is going on? And so I'm like, sorry, dude. Maybe one more time if you can pick me up. We'll work together, a little heave-ho. We'll get it back up there. I'll get out of your lap. So he pushes me back up. We get back up there. I'm like, what is going on? I still can't figure out what's happening to this stupid seat. And I'm just like, so now I'm just trying not to put any pressure, but it's a 3.5 hour flight. They're like, I don't have, at a certain point, I got to relax. So then it was like 5 minutes later, I finally relaxed a little bit and straight back down. I looked up this dude's beard and I'm like, where are you from, dude? I think I just been here for a while. Where are you from? At this point, he's laughing. His wife's next to him. He's laughing like, where are you guys from? Where are you heading? What are you doing? They're just having this conversation. And finally, we get back up again. And I asked this lady, I'm like, what is doing this? And I finally found out that it was this button. So I ended up I reached in my bag and I ended up putting some cans of Copenhagen actually between my leg that were a little wider than the button so that I would stop hitting the stupid button. But so then we're sitting on there and this lady is just, seething. It was one of the funniest things that you'd ever seen. And finally, this lady is so tired of it. Well, because then what happens is they start bringing the food cart down the aisle. Well, I'm in 65% of the aisle, like this. And so I'm stuck over there. So every time the food cart comes, I have to squish this poor lady up against the window, like face first, just about, on the side of the window for the food cart to get back in. And so when the food cart goes by a couple times, she finally loses her crap again.
Oh, God.
And there was a spare seat sitting over there. And finally, I moved over to this spare seat because there's a nicer, older lady. She said, because this lady was freaking out and cussing me out and just going off. And by the time, and I don't know, I was laughing so hard at all these things. We were making jokes. And by this time, the whole plane was on my side anyhow. They were laughing and joking with me. And nobody could stand this lady. People were kind of applauding it when I would laugh at this lady or squeeze her against the window when I had to get. But they were actually on my side, but I ended up moving, and this lady was just anyhow. When she got off the plane, they gave her a standing ovation for getting her off the plane because she was hated her guts. And she just ran out of there so mad, and it was pretty funny. I'm forgetting about half of that story, but it was a pretty good one.
Oh, that's beautiful! Absolutely beautiful.
It was a good time.
Oh my God!
But, it was hilarious.
Hi, Josephine. Be good to feel okay at the gym. My daughter wants me to go with her. Thing is, she really don't have the time between work and spending time with girlfriend and friends. I don't get to see her much. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a gym buddy. If you're feeling up to it, give it a try and go once.
That'd be awesome for sure. Just catching up. Let's see here.
My car is broken down and I have been walking to my job. I live in Rockdale, Texas, about an hour northeast of Austin. I don't relish walking in the heat, but it's only 1.6 miles, takes 34 minutes. That's a good way to get steps in. But it'd be hot in Austin too, wouldn't it? Yeah.
It absolutely is a blessing for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. All right. I think we're caught up again. Well, that's good. But yeah, let us know in the chat. What are your guys' if you do exercise, what do you guys like to do? Do you plan on adding it in later when you get to a certain point, or is everything
Did you start right away, or did you work into it?
Yeah, I loved it because, this is where I'm finally starting to get at. This is where Lindy's starting to get at, and just curious what everybody else is doing and thinking, because I know as we get into this is kind of new territory and a bunch of people are going to be asking, and it's going to be kind of fun to see where everybody's at and what you guys are doing. So
my husband bought me like all the dumbbells and the foot thing for the Wii Fit. I'd love to be able to be in a position to actually use that, or play, because Wii is quite physical and interactive. I'd love to be able to play that with the family.
Yeah. I love the Wii Fit. I used to do it all the time, but then I exceeded the weight limit on it, so I couldn't use it anymore. I'd step on it, it would just say error or whatever it says there, recalibration or whatever. Can't detect me. But now I've got a I've tried it and it does work, but the TV is really slow. It doesn't operate on the TV very well. But I still love doing the kickboxing one, and then there's the walking one and the
Yep.
hula hoop. I still love it, but it's just a pain on the TV. Yeah.
For sure. Let's see here. Also, if you guys are smoking for the summer, doing smoking meats and stuff, let us know what meats you're smoking and what your guys' favorite smoked meat is. I'm looking for new recipes.
I use resistance bands and light weights now, but only after losing over 100 pounds. Congratulations on losing 100 pounds.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
That's
Nice.
awesome. That's
Nice
fantastic.
job.
Hey, it feels so much better.
Oh yeah.
Hi, B-Dog. I'm walking and increasing weight training. I'm going to check out a few gyms in the next few weeks just for light weights and stuff.
Yeah.
Cool.
And
Cool.
stalking people in garages, right?
we're gonna have to be faster. I'm gonna have to work on my sprint soon. Next meetup. B-Dog, are you coming to Florida for the next one? I started with chair exercises for seniors and moved up to push-up, squats, jumping jacks. Now I'm taking morning walks with sprints a few times per week. That's awesome, man.
Oh, beautiful.
It's great.
Nice.
Yeah. It's awesome how you can watch your journey progress. It's awesome. Yeah, good job. I'm trying to build my motivation to get back on a bike. I'm in and out of the gym now, just can't stay consistent.
Well, yeah, 100%. And that's just the thing, right? Like, what can you do that's, no matter how small it is, what can you do that you do consistently? I think that's actually more important. I think one small thing consistently, no matter how small it is, whatever is sustainable consistently is worth way more than, a handful of big days in the gym,
Yeah. I'll be right back, folks.
Doris, you are welcome. 100 pounds is nothing to sneeze at.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. I smoked a brisket today, 10 hours. It's perfect. I just did dry rub and the fat down first, and then when I wrapped it up, wrapped it in foil at 165.
Nice.
Ooh. Is that the same as what you told me?
Yeah, it is.
165? Yep.
Yep, sure is. I get free gym membership with my Medicare starts next month, so I'll take advantage of that. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh.
That'd be way cool.
Nothing wrong with that.
Not at all.
I walk and do weights, but I'm having an autoimmune flare at the moment, so my joints are too sore and muscles fatigue again really easily. I guess it's also my lymphedema and lipedema.
Oh.
Yeah, there was a point where I would do exercise and that would flare up the swelling in my legs and the pain also, but it seems to have calmed down now. So I think it's just that inflammation, and maybe, I don't know how long you've been carnivore for, but maybe as you continue that will get better over time. But just take it easy. Don't push it, because it's very uncomfortable to exercise when you have a flare up.
That's for sure. It's exhausting too. Takes it out of you.
Yep.
I'm gonna smoke a brisket next week with only salt. I've never done it with just salt. Man, so weird, right? The salt thing, because I haven't put salt on anything now in close to 2 months, which is funny because I tried salt free when I was doing line. I couldn't cut it. Didn't work for me. And then when I started smoking, the smoke was enough flavor that I stopped using salt, and now I don't mind it at all. So I don't use it. I haven't used salt in a couple months, and it's so crazy. And I'm just doing it because the more salt that I have, the harder it is to keep fluid off me. And that's just the truth, and I fight a lymphatic issue. And so I haven't been having salt issues lately, which is pretty crazy because I thought I might, because I've been sweating so much because it's been hot and I've been working out. and I still
Right.
haven't needed it. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, see, I love my salt. Like I can stop having coffee, but I love my salt. I don't want to give that up.
I know, and I'm
Yeah.
not. I didn't mean to try to give it up. It's just honestly, when we were in Texas, and Bella and people were having that meat without salt,
Right.
so we stopped salting it because most of my salt that I get in, I do it before I cook the meat, not after. So when we were eating all that meat and it was smoked and tasty, I just wasn't putting it on after because I didn't feel like it needed it, and I got used to it. And how I kind of feel about it is, remember when when we were on standard American diet, if everything wasn't super sweet and super over the top flavorful, it didn't taste good, right? And then you go real strict on carnivore, and then you go back and you have something like, I don't know, a lemon, and you're like, that's so sweet, like your taste buds
change.
yeah, are so heightened, right?
Right.
Well, I feel like that's happened now when I stop salt. Now my taste buds are so so sensitive or whatever that I can taste salt and just standard meat, without salting it. So I know it's very, very strange, but I did come around to that. So, and it wasn't even something I was trying to do. It's just something that happened.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, so I'm just like, well, I'm going with it because it makes it easier. Because I don't think it's the salt alone that keeps the fluid off me. When I don't drink salt, or when I don't eat salt, I don't drink as much too, which keeps me from putting so much dang fluid on my legs, which is just giving me time to heal the tissue without keep inflating this balloon,
Up and down all the time. Yeah.
With my London broil, I dry age, some say dry brined, for 3 days. I ate a 1/4 pound raw to see if I prefer that over smoked. I do for the meat, but before the fat browned. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, I could see that for sure. Man, I really like smoked fat though. For some reason, that's my favorite part of the brisket is that smoked fat. I'm like, oh, I love that when it's warm. Ooh.
Yeah, but they cut it all off here, so we don't get fatty meat like we did over in Texas.
Right.
Wow,
that was really good meat. Yeah,
tasty.
Here it's just very thin and it's not much on there.
Well, you just got to move here. That's all there is to it. And have Catherine and Ella and everybody bring their flowers and Ella's just got to bring her Twitch and her guns.
Well, we were talking about it yesterday, and they all want to come up to Montana for 4th of July. So that's fingers crossed.
There you go.
You'll have the 5 of us there in July.
That'll be awesome.
Hopefully.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be a blast. We're going to have a lot of fun. Yeah, I can't wait. That'd be awesome.
Fingers crossed.
Well,
started June 2023, 486 pounds. Started with baby steps in stores and walking. Keto first 6 months, then keto carnivore, January 2024. Joined gym today, 246 pounds. Wow.
It's
now
awesome,
look like Alan Richardson without six pack. That's fantastic, Matt. Congratulations.
Yep,
that's huge.
Awesome, bud.
That's so
great.
That is huge. And let's see. Man, that's crazy. That's a lot in a short period of time, too.
It really is. That is tremendous. Good for you, darling.
Yeah.
Good for you. Taking charge.
What kind of things do you do at the gym? Love to hear about your workouts there.
For sure. Yeah, definitely tell us what you're doing there because I'd love to hear that too. I have 2 chuck roast dry aging to smoke on Tuesday. John, what temperature do you smoke those at? Because I turned mine into protein powder. Well, I oversmoked mine. So let me know what temperature you cook your chuck roast at, and also what elevation you cook at, because I need to do the conversion, please.
So the gym membership accelerated the weight loss with high protein fat, but gained muscle from the meat same time. Yeah, that's why you don't follow the scales. The scales are not accurate, are they? But
No, that's what's so annoying right now. I lost a bunch of weight when I came back from Texas. Then I started lifting and really working out. And the fluid's coming off me, but I'm gaining weight. And I swear to God, it must be muscle because my
Yeah.
legs are so much smaller. My shirts are smaller. My face is smaller. Everything's
Yeah.
happening. But
Since Texas, yes.
yeah, and I'm still down from Texas, but it's like it went like straight down 40 pounds, and then it came back up like 10 pounds over the last like 3 weeks of lifting. And I'm just like, what is going on? And it because I don't know what the conversion is, but I know I'm definitely visibly thinner
yes.
and stronger. But it's just like it came back, and I was expecting to keep going. I thought, man, I'm gonna get a 3 on that damn scale. I was shooting for it, and then it started to turn around but I think DC's in here. DC, what do you call that body type that you said I am? The mesomorphous body type or mesomorph that gains muscle easy? Maybe that's what's going on. I don't know, but man, I was surprised that the scale turned around. I'm like, what are you doing? Because I'm so strict right now too, because it's hot, so it's easy to be strict. So I'm literally doing 18 eggs in the morning, 1 pound of beef in the afternoon for lunch, and 18 eggs at night. I mean, it doesn't get stricter than that. No salt, fairly minimal water because I haven't been drinking a lot lately. And just taking I'm taking my iodine and all my stuff, and I'm just like, where is this weight coming from? It's got to be muscle. It's got to be muscle. I don't understand where else it'd be coming from.
Oh, she's got a new one. I'll have to make a note of that. I'll
Yeah.
have to look at that today.
I've got some ground beef in the fridge, which I need to use up today. So I might, have a look at myself.
That's
Yep.
awesome.
I'll be going to that.
There we go.
When my family had barbecue restaurants, we smoked briskets without any seasoning. Yum.
For sure.
Cool.
They're tasty. I like them.
I'm 8 pounds from my goal, and his 8 are stubborn.
That's awesome, Vicky.
That is fantastic. I have a
Congrats.
question. Vicky, my darling. What are you going to do once you have reached that goal? Are you staying on carnivore? What is your transition past that goal? What are your plans, my love? I'd love to hear what your plans are, because even I'm thinking about that sort of thing. What is it going to be? Strict carnivore for the rest of my life, which I'm happy to do, obs. But what do we do? Do we start introducing those other things like that are still within that sort of keto sort of range, and find out what happens and start experimenting? So I'm asking because I'm starting to sort of gather the information. So what are your plans going forward once you've got rid of those 8 stubborn pounds?
For sure.
The crispy fat on the brisket was the best. Yes.
Yeah. Crispy fat with the bark. Tasty.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, burnt ends.
ends.
Yeah. You still get burnt ends, but they're not the same when you don't use a little bit of sugary barbecue sauce on them. Yeah, because burnt ends are they're still still good though.
Started treadmill walking and machines 2 months after started weights. Now I lift 45 minutes, do 30 cardio, can do stepper, no soreness because of high meat diet.
Which is what Chaffee says. Dr. Chaffee says that it shouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
I remember
we're not there yet.
No, we're not close to that yet. But
we still
I do remember him saying something about that, saying that, if you do a workout at the gym or something like that, it's not natural for it to hurt. That's if I'm remembering it correctly.
Well, he's been a high-level rugby player for most of his life. So, yeah.
That's a career change and a half, folks. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I think for us, it's going to take a bit to get to that stage.
Yeah.
Post-workout is bone broth, protein shake with 3 raw eggs, and 2 small meat meals later in the day. Eating window is from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Ah,
I love your routine.
nice. Yes.
Yeah.
That's a nice routine. I like that.
That's
Mm.
awesome.
I'm a lifer for sure. I will never go
Oh.
back. I'm so happy with my new life. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
nice,
awesome, Vicky.
darling.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, because the problem for me would be if I'm not strict carnivore, what am I? And
Exactly.
you know, because if I'm not strict carnivore, then I'm eating poison again. So it's not even about a diet anymore. This isn't a diet anymore because now I know too much. So it's really whether or not I'm gonna go do heroin when I get done or not, you know. And it's like, no, I'm not. I know how much problems that cause. I'm not getting sick again, you know, because it's not. This isn't this isn't a race that you hit the finish line with. It's just it's the path we're on. It's a lifestyle now, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So I can't see me having fruit again. I've never really been big on eating fruit. So I can't see me incorporating that back in, not after what I know and all the other stuff that's turns into sugar. As for vegetables, oh yeah, I'm still way too scared of them. I'm
Well,
still way too scared.
Well, it's like, and I mean, I know some people like certain vegetables, but honestly, if out of all the things to give up, vegetables are not hard. You know, like who cares?
Oh well,
Especially,
toddlers have been telling us for years, dear.
right? I know. I made a short on that, and somebody was like, "My daughter loves vegetables." I'm like, only because you've shoved them down her throat. Like if you put a piece of bacon on a high table and you put a piece of broccoli, there's no way that kid.
What do you think they're going to pick? Right.
Yeah, it's like
Bacon.
all day long.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, if you put a marshmallow on there and a piece of bacon, they'll probably eat the marshmallow because they're little drug addicts, just like the rest of us are.
Yeah.
You know, but out of the natural food sources, they're not picking the broccoli. So I don't know. It's craziness.
Elevation.
Yeah, 2,389 feet. I have a gas grill that I put on a sheet pan over the burner. I put charcoal in the pan with the gas on low and the meat over the cool side up to 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Then move to the close for share. That'd be pretty good. 120
Yum.
degrees. So that's pretty rare. And then you sear it. That's pretty good. That's not tough though, John. I would think that would be tough at that temperature, that internal temperature. Let me know. I feel like that'd be tough. Oh.
Oh, does Mike want to jump on and have a chat with us? Maybe.
Oh, you might, Michael. You, Mike or Matt? You mean right?
Oh, Matt. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, Matt. Here, Matt. Well, if you want to hop on, I'll put the link in the chat here. Copy. You want to hop on?
You can share your story. We'd love to hear from you. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, tell us about what you're up to. It's easier than doing it in text messages.
Yeah.
If you have a Harris farm in Melbourne, they have rump cap roast with the fat. I bake it. So good. I have never heard of Harris farm. Is that something you have in Queensland, Marlon?
Not that I can recall, darling.
Yeah.
Mind you, I live under a rock.
Yeah. Not heard of that one. We do have Tasman meats here in Melbourne, and that's really good. I buy a lot of my meat there at the moment. It's local and yeah,
I've
pretty
heard
good.
of Harris Farm, but I don't know if we have one up here or not. No idea.
See, some of us didn't do it for the weight loss, but I still struggle with trying stuff, paying a hefty price, then back to what works.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The London broil was not tough. I'll let you know about the chucks. Okay, yeah. The London broil I could see not being tough. The chucks I feel like are going to be tough. That's why I overshot the landing because I'm like, okay, so am I gonna? So what I've done so far is I've overcooked the bejesus out of a brisket, and then I hit one right when I dropped the degrees by 10 for the elevation here, and then I cooked a tri-tip like a brisket, but I was a little overcooked, so I would actually bring that down closer to. I don't know. It wasn't bad. It was just because it was thin. The tri-tip was very thin, and I think that's why I got dry. So I think next time I would only cook that to probably my temperature about 180, but that was pretty good at 180. You sure you could do it like a rare steak too, but it's going to be pretty tough, I think. But I ruined a chuck roast because I tried to cook it to brisket temperature, but this was before I figured out my elevation problem. So next week I'm starting a 7-day fast tomorrow. So after I get through that 7-day fast, then I'll go back and I'm gonna try the chuck roast again. But I think I'm gonna cook it like I do sous vide brisket and chuck roast, and I think I'm gonna cook it for a long time. Slow, like 225 degrees, but I think I'm going to do it till it's probably only like 145 degrees. I think might work, but I don't know. I'm trying to figure that one out. It's going to be kind of tricky. Are sous vides worth buying? I think so.
I think so.
I am a fan.
Yep.
Definitely a fan. I love them.
have one.
They're affordable and amazing. I can't enjoy it now, but another time I can. I have my daughter with her friends. No worries, Matt. I appreciate it. Alrighty. Must be a Sydney store only.
The Harris Farm.
Harris Farm. For me, I reversed every medical problem with this lifestyle. My type 2 diabetes, heart murmur, psoriasis, arthritis, even my asthma is under control, just to name a few. Wish I knew more about this years ago. Yes.
Oh,
I'm with you there. Yeah.
Yeah. But all those reversals, darling. Oh.
It's incredible, isn't it?
That is just amazing. Good for you. Another one, taking charge.
Yes.
I love it. I love it.
Hi, AP. Hello, lovely people. Does carbonated water count as drinking regular water? Does it have chemicals in it? I'm drinking a lot of carbonated water.
I mean, I think it depends on what kind you drink.
What's in it? Are you making it yourself with like a soda stream, or are you buying something that already has artificial sugar in it?
Yeah, I mean, I drink the heck out of these San Pellegrinos and the Topo Chicos. I only do those two because I really only like stuff in a glass bottle. I taste plastic and everything else, and I don't like the cans.
Right.
So I do the glass bottle San Pellegrinos and glass bottle Topo Chicos. There's nothing wrong with it, in my opinion. I think I really don't drink non-carbonated water at all. So it must be good because I'm not drinking any other water, and I'm also not being dehydrated or having cramps or anything, you know.
I actually can't. I can't stand the taste of. I used to drink mineral water all the time. It was my preferred choice. I had a glass full of it the other day, and I drink. It's called bubbly water.
Yeah.
Bubly.
Yeah.
And I put a can of that in my great big thingy. What's it thing here? Couple of scoops of ice, and I put my electrolytes in here every day. Yep. And that's what I have.
That's awesome. What flavor do you get? I used to get the lime.
Yeah, I've got my favorites are the lime and the berry.
Yeah.
And I mean, sure, the flavor itself is like it's probably the flavor's been thrown in from the other state,
right?
Across, like from Western Australia, but it's enough. It really is enough.
Yeah, that's how I quit soda. Was at the lime bubblies. I would take 4 lime bubblies and I put it in a 1-gallon pitcher, and then I'd take about 12 ounces of volcanic lemon juice and about 4 ounces of volcanic lime juice, and then I'd take Dr. Berg's electrolyte,
Electrolytes.
lemon electrolyte powder, put it in there, and then
Yep.
I would shake it up, and that was my crossover. I did that for the first 5 weeks, and that's what got me over soda addiction. So
I make my own electrolytes. It's just so much cheaper.
for sure,
So much cheaper.
100%.
Oof.
They're expensive.
And you know what's in it.
Right. I reverse sous vide 1 chuck roast, smoke sear first, then sous vide at 185 for 8 hours. The top round, I did that. Was amazing. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, still, what's crazy is I think I'm just trying to see what I can do with smoking because I got this new smoker. But when I'm done, my favorite brisket is actually sous vide, for 85 hours and then smoked for about another 6 hours just to get the smoke on it. And that's the best brisket I've ever had in my life. Yep.
Wow.
85 hours in the sous vide.
It is, and it's so good. It is so amazingly good. And you don't have to trim it at all. I mean, some of the really hard fat you can trim off, but it breaks down all that fat after 85 hours. So the amount of rendered fat that comes out of that bag makes an absolute banging gravy if you want to make one out of it. It's crazy.
Okay.
One of the docs said carbonated water is like regular water as long as it doesn't have anything else in it. Yeah.
Nice.
Pretty much.
I don't drink carbonated water in winter because it's cold, but I love it in the summer. I'll just have a soda stream. I'm too cheap to buy bottles.
Yep.
I
I
save
do.
my money for the meat. Yeah.
Yep.
Mountain Valley spring water just down the road from I get their sparkling water of Topo Chico. Yeah, I had Topo Chico in Austin. Nice.
Remember one thing, don't be be embarrassed or worried about people looking at you. Half the world are mental cases anyway. This is about health and freedom. Fight for it. 100%.
I
Matt.
know. You're right. You're right. I need to get out of my head.
That's what I was saying. Like literally when I used to go to the gym and somebody was staring me down and giving me that disgusting look, I'd walk right up to them and I'd give them a fist bump or dap them up because I thought it was funny because they're disgusted that, I was looking.
They should be proud of you for being there and trying to change your life. You would think that's what they would think that, but they don't. It's unreal,
Yeah.
Some were, but it's just
it's not like you're in line at McDonald's trying to get food. You're
right
actually trying to make
but it puts those people in their place when you walk right up to them without an ounce of fear and you just look them in the eye and you be nice to them. We give, even though, some of them think you're too naive to know that they were making fun of you or whatever. I know. But then you just come back and you make fun of them, you patronize them while you're doing it. But just, go give them knuckles and just laugh it off because who cares? Like literally when you're getting judged and you give somebody knuckles.
It's hard though, man.
I know, but I actually almost enjoy it. I thrive on that when stuff like that happens. I'm like, whatever. Just walk right up to it. Just give them a fist bump. Tell them have a nice day. Saying, hope you guys are killing it today,
Yeah, these are the mental games we play, though. Yeah.
Oh, I know. It's your mind plays games with you, and it's It's hard to break that shit.
It does.
It really is. It is.
So eating carnivore is the easy part. It's the mind games.
For sure. But I mean, yeah.
We're a work in progress.
Oh, how do you make your own electrolytes?
I'll tell you what I'll do. All right. When I finished up here, I will take a photograph of the bulk supplement thingies that I get. And I've got the measurements written down. So I will take a photograph and I'll do a community post on Carnivore Odyssey and give you
there you go
the amounts that I do. And it's all been worked out, but the credit for that recipe goes to Old Guy Carnivore because I took that from him.
For sure.
Didn't take.
That's awesome.
Followed that advice from him. But if you stay tuned in the next few hours on my channel, community post, I'll definitely put that up there for you, darling. All right?
That's awesome.
And I will post your channel into the chat so everybody can.
Oh, hey Charlie, this is from Charlie in Maryland. Hey Todd, we cooked prime rib roast your way today, and it was really a big hit with Maryland and our neighbor. So was the horseradish cream sauce, sour cream mixture.
Good
Thanks
stuff.
for the info on how to cook it. That's awesome, Charlie. I'm glad you loved it. That's my favorite. It's my new like addiction. Is that the only reason why I don't make more of it is just because I'll eat too much sour cream or shredded sauce. So
Yeah,
I have
that's
to be
easily
careful.
done with sour cream.
Man, I love that on the meat. It's so good. I have 4 bottles of horseradish and 2 things of sour cream in there right now. I'm like, nope, not until after the fast. Then I'll put some on some bread.
There you go.
Not until I'm done with the fast. Throw some of the juice from my brisket. I'll pour it over the burgers one day. Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh, yum, 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 yum.
Yeah, Topo Chico is pretty awesome. I really like, and you know, you guys can all shoot me at you know, carnivore purist school or whatever, but I love the twisted lime ones. Those twisted lime ones are fantastic.
I like lime. They'd
Oh,
have to shoot me too.
Oh, it's so good. I'm like, if the worst thing is every once a month or something, I have a 15 pack of twisted lime.
Right.
I'm gonna be okay. Oh, there you go. The plane trip story. Yeah, I didn't do a very good job because I didn't have it in my brain. I got to go remember all the funny parts.
Oh, it was plenty funny, hon. Conjured up a very vivid image of this whole situation going on.
It just kept happening when I was looking at that dude's beard. I was just like, "Where are you from, dude?"
You come here often. Yeah, I would have done that. And bang, you come here often.
Yeah, we're gonna be hanging out for a while, I guess.
Yep.
I don't know how to keep this chair from doing this. People are real quick to judge, but they only know how good we felt compared to how they feel. They wouldn't be so quick to judge. Well,
Amen.
for sure. I mean, honestly, well, we were all talking about this the other day. Most of the people that are freaking out when they find out, you know, isn't it funny when you're sick and at your worst, people aren't concerned about what you're doing or your diet, but as soon as you get healthy, eating any certain way, but especially eating meat, when you start getting healthy or healthier than them, and you start being happy, then all of a sudden they have a problem and they say,
yeah,
they're worried about your health. They say they're worried about your diet. They say that they're, you know, worried about what you're doing is going to catch up with you. And it's like, what do you mean catch up with me? You know what caught up with me was 700 pounds. That caught up with me pretty hard.
Yeah.
You know? So, but what you realize is that people are happy to have sick people around them because
makes them feel good.
Yeah, it makes them feel like they're making better decisions. If this 700-pound guy can live, then all of a sudden I don't have to look at, you know, the crap in my diet. Yeah. Right. And so they like that. But when you start changing,
and they're the big guy now, and they got all the health problems, they start wondering, you know, maybe I have to do something.
I'm worried about
nobody wants to change their life. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You're like, oh, I'm worried about your diet because they got to find something wrong with it because they don't want to give, you know, they're the addicts now. You beat the addiction.
Right.
They're the addicts and they don't want to give it up. So they want to figure out, well, that meat's going to kill you. Well, why is the meat going to kill me compared to all the processed pizzas and sugar and energy drinks you're drinking? Why you think
there's a reason why some energy drinks are banned in certain countries. There's a reason for that, folks.
Right. But it's funny. But it's funny because they'll say, well, red meat causes cancer. Yeah, well, you're the one that looks like you're dying. You have no life in your face. You're inflamed. You breathe, you know, and you just see this all over. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but now when I walk around, I look at all the inflamed faces, all the puffy, inflamed, bad skin faces. And I'm like, oh, man. And, you know, I forget who was saying it. I think it was somebody on Carrie's. Yeah, I think it was somebody on Carrie's live stream last night that did that diabetes fundraiser. And somebody said it. It was funny. But they said, this is only, it's Ken Berry. Ken Berry said it. He's like, this is the only diet I know this starts such a revolution that you start looking around in the grocery store when people are putting stuff in their cart, and you go up to them, you're like, dude, get that out of your cart.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be eating that. You almost want to save people's life at the grocery store when
Yeah.
they're piling all this poison in their cart. And it's so true. You look
Yep.
around now, and when I'm going through Costco the other day, I was just looking around and I was seeing these people putting all this boxed up carbohydrate, sugar loaded, fructose added, corn syrup, seed oil crap. And it's
Yeah.
just pouring out of their carts. And they got, little fat kids with them and little inflamed families, and their carts full of sugary cereal.
And the kids are
fruit
probably
roll-ups.
playing hell, having
and it's-
tantrums
Yeah,
because
and you're
they're
just
so
looking at
high
it,
on the
They're all
sugar
addicted
anyway.
to it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's just, quite literally, like, somebody had to make a meme of that, of like a little strung out family on meth, like a little kids, mom and dad, all happy having meth for breakfast, because that's what I see it as when because
Yeah.
all it is a drug addiction of
Yep.
stuff that's killing them. It's gonna
Yeah.
kill them. It just does it slower, but it's more addictive. But it just kills you over time, and it's just happening to everybody. I mean, we're at 74% of the Earth's population is metabolically sick, meaning dying, taking years off their life, and some, and it comes down hard when you get 40, 50, 62.
And what's the word I'm looking for here? Is it indoctrination?
That's a good one for sure. Indoctrination is a very good one. I mean, the propaganda is very thick. They've convinced people. I mean, look at how big food and big pharma has weaseled themselves into traditions. Even, I mean, sugar is tied in with Christmas and Valentine's Day, and
all the candy they sell.
all the
holidays have candy. Special
Right,
candy. It's only for a limited time. You get
Right.
that limited time in your head, and I got to have it. Otherwise, it's going to be another year until I get it again. Yeah.
Right.
all
I
the-
mean, literally,
all
when you
about
think
this.
of all these holidays, they have a flavor and a smell to them. You can think about what
Pumpkin spice.
Thanksgiving, smells like. You think about what Christmas smells like. You can think
Peppermint.
about all these things, and they have a flavor. I mean, isn't it crazy that our holidays have flavors and smells associated with them?
Because they trigger you.
Because they did it
Yeah.
on purpose. As these holidays are literally just built to push all this crap down our throats, and they've tied it in, and it's all making memories. They tied the drugs in with memories and special occasions and
they're
happy
getting away
moments.
with it.
Yeah, they're getting away with it until
They've
you
got a
die.
team of lawyers to help them get
And
away
food
with it.
is
Don't
tied
even
to
get me started.
all the holidays. How can you have a holiday without food somehow tied to it?
Right? Yeah, it's pretty sick. That's pretty sick. And it just makes you mad. My sister sent me pictures of my dad before he passed away, because we're working on this. My dad was stationed at Camp Lejeune, and there's a class action lawsuit going on because Camp Lejeune poisoned the water with rocket fuel, and my dad, mom got poisoned because they're staying in the base housing back then. But anyhow, there's very big class action lawsuit going on, so you got to send him pictures. And so my sister pulled up and remembered when my dad was covered from head to toe. Every square inch had an open sore on my dad. Every square inch of his body from head to toe, both sides. And it was from chemo, from the leukemia. But when I saw that, what it was really from was my dad was a diabetic for forever. And it was from the sugar. And you see that, and he was wasting away, just a skeleton. I had to look at these pictures, and I was just so pissed. I was so pissed off when I was looking at those, seeing them now. And I was just sitting here, ruined my whole week looking at them.
I know how you feel.
And I was just like, these bastards are getting away with doing this to everybody.
Yep.
And this is why it's not cute. This is why it's not, I'm going to have a sugary treat for my birthday, or, but it's Christmas, but it's Thanksgiving. No, we are falling for the lie. We are literally being complacent in our own destruction. And we are literally funding the war against ourselves that's killing us all. And we're watching it happen to our moms and dads, and brothers and sisters, and sons and daughters.
Yep.
And we're doing it and we're all just giggling, and it's okay because it's cute, it's cereal, it's Valentine's Day, it's a birthday, whatever. We have so many things, and it's gotten to the point where we're the weird ones because we see it, and all these people will fight tooth and nail, and it's not because they have an argument, it's because they're addicted to the drug.
Yeah.
And their minds are warped. You know, I had a video out
And
there.
you want to save everybody, you do, but you can't.
People don't
And
want
I
to hear
think
it.
there's the rub. That's
You can save them, but it has you're not going to do it for them. You can't change literally. And that's why I love Jordan Peterson so much. The only way we do it is by working on ourselves. We have to be the example. We have to
lead by example.
Yep. I have to show them contrast. I have to show them that we're free, that we're healthy, that we're thriving off of this terrible red meat, you know?
Evil.
And when they reach rock bottom and they get sick and they're covered in sores and have leukemia and are dying, they'll have somebody to at least look to, you know? I mean, literally, you know, one of the biggest healing or one of the biggest gospel ministries in the Bible was the healing ministry. Because people, when you need to be healed, you need an answer, and then you look for the truth. When you don't need to be healed yet, you don't look for an answer. So you don't look outside the propaganda until you're desperate. And so that's kind of the way I look at this anymore, is that we have to be the example of hope for people when they reach their knees. You know, that's the way we're going to change them. But it's coming. Wow. Who else we got here? Did we miss anything? Oh, we got a couple starred ones. Sorry, I was yabbering.
Todd, how much sour cream and how much horseradish?
50-50 mix. So however much you want, but just it's a 1-to-1. So 1-to-1 prepared horseradish and sour cream. And it is, and a little more if I'm feeling spicy. A little more horseradish. I love the burn.
It's good.
It is good.
And after you mix it up, throw it back in the refrigerator so the sour cream gets hard again.
Yeah, let it really get thick. And
yep.
Ooh, it's good. I made one better one time before I was carnivore that was fantastic, but it had a bunch of other stuff in it too. It had like Worcestershire sauce or wash your sister sauce if you're from the South.
Worcestershire sauce.
And I had a little bit of hot mustard, wasabi in it, and whew, it would clean your sinuses, but it was tasty.
How long are you fasting for, Todd?
7 days. So I'm trying to get back on my fasting schedule, which was 7-day feeding window and then a 7-day fast. I try to fast 14 days a month if I can.
Are you only going to drink water in that time, I take it?
Only half the time, actually. I do every other day is a dry fast too. I'll do a 24-hour dry, and then a 24-hour wet, 24-hour dry, and then a 24-hour wet and a 24-hour dry. So I do 4 24-hour dries, 3 24-hour wets, and a 7-day no food.
Dang, son.
But this is going to be tricky. I don't know if I'm going to make it this time because I'm working out now, and I don't know what it's going to be like working out 7 days fasted. So I'm going to try like heck because I'm interested to see what happens. Also, I'm a little bit worried because it's been so hot that I have not been getting in the food that I've been supposed to be getting in. I've been really trying to get in all the food I'm supposed to get in, but I'm not very primed for it. So, but it's fine. I'm just starting it, and I want to see, because I was doing this before Texas. Then I got back from Texas, and I had to work on fireworks, and I was just too busy. I was only able to do OMAD, so I didn't do any fasting, but that was fine because I was moving a lot. But I only did OMADs for ever, and it's only been this week I went back to trying to do 2 and 3 meals, but I'm trying to keep them under right around 65 grams protein so I don't have any gluconeogenesis issues per meal. That's why I'm doing 2 and 3 meals, and I've been trying to put them down and also taking amino acids and everything, trying to get them down. And then but I don't think I got enough in. We'll see. It might still work. I got to really pay attention to brain fog and my energy because I don't think it's going to be hard not to eat because it's been so hot. I haven't felt like eating at all, so I think that'll be easy. It's whether or not my metabolism's going to pay the price of it that I'm going to have to really pay attention to this time and see how my energy is when I'm working out. So I don't know. This is kind of a test, but I'm going for it. But if I have to pull the plug after 3 days and whatever and refeed, I don't care. I'm playing it by ear, but the goal is 7 days again. So I'd really like to get back to that. I really like that schedule. So let's see, what do we got?
Todd, and where is your prime rib recipe?
Oh, primary. I mean, there is no real recipe. It's just I don't even put salt or anything on it. I just get a Costco prime rib roast. It's between 16 and 20 pounds every time I get it. And then I cut it in half so that it's basically a 4-bone roast on each side but they don't have the bones in them, but the equivalent of 2 4-bone prime ribs. And then I set the Traeger to 225 and I put the probes in it, and we're looking for an internal temperature of 123 degrees. And I use the Gourmet Blend Traeger pellets, and I just smoke it till it gets to an internal temperature of 123 degrees. Then I pull them out, and I let them rest for about a half an hour while covered, and then slice thick and put on horseradish sour cream, and it is fantastic. Lindy's had some.
Nom,
It
nom,
is
nom.
very good. I've actually got one in the fridge, which I'll probably do after this live stream.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, nom, 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 nom.
All right, where are we at here? Here we go.
I'm going to Northern WI to say goodbye.
Wisconsin.
Oh, okay. To say goodbye to my terminally ill brother who won't even try anything for fruit juices and protein drinks because of glioblastomas.
Glioblastomas, what my father had.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
So sorry, John.
I'm so sorry you're going through that. I remember. Oh,
That's a rough one, man.
that packed a punch, and that was a surprise. Yeah, I'm so sorry.
That's a rough one.
I believe that's exactly how I connected to this way of life: extreme desperation and prayer. Yeah. We all hit that desperate place.
That's what gets us, and that's exactly how. I mean, seems to be the channels, so might as well use them.
Yeah.
You know, that's the way we can get people's attention for sure. Well, fasting, how do you do your iodine on dry days? You're not going to like the answer. I just got it, and it is strong and it burns. But I just take it down.
That's how I take mine.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not pretty, but I just do it. Try to hit the furthest part of the back of my throat and just swallow, and it is not good.
Yikes.
You get used to it though. It's not that bad.
Well, she's talking about without water.
No, it's yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
how I take mine. I just put it in my mouth and
Yeah,
from the eyedropper, and that's it.
it burns a little though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yours is a little stronger than mine. I did buy some 5% though. I should be here this week. I want to try it and see.
Kind of torquey.
Yeah, I want to see if I see an
Well,
increase with that.
They do say beauty is pain, or health can be painful too.
Right?
And just looking at Todd's painful enough.
Oh,
You
no,
meant,
he
you
did.
meant beautiful.
Oh, he did.
If he said painful, then he meant beautiful because it's the same. That's what he meant. I knew
Todd got it. Yeah, you know what I meant. Yeah,
I knew what you were
Look
saying.
at
It
Todd,
wasn't a
man.
backhanded
look
jab
at how
at
much
all.
of an improvement. Look at Todd. Just in these past couple of weeks, how much he's improved his look. It's really amazing.
Yeah, it's a problem though because remember that cherub picture? Fat cherub picture. I'm getting the stupid dimples back, and it's pissing me off because my face got skinny enough. I'm gonna have to.
I don't think Marvin's seen it. We might have to put it up again.
No, we don't have to put it up.
The thing is, if we're talking dimples, okay, dimples are a big selling point, folks. Now, I'm just wondering, At what point? Two-part question here. At what point is the bobblehead going to be standard merch around here? And will there be a way to actually add those dimples? No, I'm not letting you live it down.
You should. You should, because this has been one of the more commented things lately. I'm gonna have to fix.
Uh-oh.
Where are the comments coming from that are not in the live chat? I don't know what you mean.
She's on different channels, so
Oh, I got you.
we got 4 channels running today, so there's
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
all these
StreamYard
questions.
combines all the comments into one stream, so we're just pulling from everyone's chat.
Yeah.
That's for you.
Just tuning in, seeing my favorite carnival lady, emotional, hang in there, sweet Odyssey lady. Oh, big hugs for you.
Lots of hugs. Thank you, darling.
I'm glad it wasn't an iodine.
That's a blast. Yeah, that's a line I will not cross. I will definitely break a wet fast to not shove something up my keister. Oh, okay, so you're not seeing the rest.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, sorry, wrong button.
See the one where somebody added the blood on their Donald Trump bubblehead. Oh.
Crazy. Sounds like a bobblehead.
Yeah, it's a bit low.
All right. I think we caught up. And we're at 3 hours and 3 minutes. We did it again. This is a good one. I enjoyed this. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think it was nice having a topic. So we'll try and do that for the upcoming weeks. Have a topic to talk about.
No worries. Right on. Well, we were starting to do better on topics. It's just been so busy, but I did enjoy this, and we're gonna definitely keep trying to have it more topic based, so we're just not flapping in the breeze. But I did like this topic, and it was relevant to what we're doing right now. So quite enjoying it. But we appreciate you guys, and we are going to call it a night right now. But we will see you next Sunday. And we are going to start having some other stuff coming out. I've got some more videos that are going to be coming out here soon as well. And we're going to start doing some more interviews. And I know everybody's like, you've said that before, but we're serious. See this? This is my new video interview camera that you're looking at. That's why the camera looks different.
Yeah, we're getting organized.
We are getting organized. Take time. But appreciate y'all. Love you guys. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Have a great week, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.